What's up, guys? It's Will back again for another episode of Collector's Mingle. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Spider-Man Battle Damage Upgrade Suit, Venom 2.0, which came as a shock to many people, some other philosophical topics that we normally get into, and everything else under the sun that you're going to want to hear tonight. We have another awesome panel of handsome collectors that are ready to mingle, not always single, but they are here. Let's get into it. I feel like my intros get better and better every time. I don't know. I think it just your faces all say everything. That's all I needed to hear. I'm going to take that as a yes. So guys, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Before we get into that though, I mean, there's so much really. But before we get into that, KG, I know you're a little bit nervous right now. Spider-Man tickets are going on sale in like 4 hours.
What are you talking about,
man? How you feeling? Tell me how you're feeling.
Right now, I'm just thinking about the tickets. I have Fandango website up right now. I'm just waiting. That's it. No, I mean, I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Thanks for joining. And also, I love the Spider-Man display you have in the back there.
Oh, yeah, we were talking
Pretty
about
nice.
Spidey. Might as well just have a display here, yeah.
Exactly. If Spider's the only thing on your mind, you might as well just make it the only thing in your background.
I'm in the Spidey hole.
So,
in the Spidey hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mario, El Profesoro, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Actually, just taking this Sunday to recover from an extremely busy weekend, long weekend. So, Thursday being Thanksgiving, Friday had myself a Disneyland trip, for a long while. Yesterday, SDCC all damn day, and I'm just recovering today, bro. So just getting ready for the work week tomorrow, man. But thanks for having me on, Will, and just happy to be here with all of you guys tonight.
Dude, absolutely. And you also sent me. So was it from SDCC or something? It was a Pennywise.
That was from
yeah.
SDCC.
Justin, he sent me. I don't know. I didn't send it to you. I didn't send it to either you guys yet. But Mario, was it like a piece of artwork they were selling or something?
Yeah, it was a lenticular print. So it was a trip.
Or are you going back? Because I kind of want it. So
nah, unfortunately today is the last day, and the show has
it's fine.
The show just finished. So
okay, gotcha, dude. Well, I hope you had a good time. Leo, I know you're posing your Hawkeye. What's going on, man?
Just came off of I don't know, this stupid little arrow piece that's on the gauntlet that he actually wears that he dispenses. You know these little hot toy pieces, like sometimes they'll just pop off every now and then.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this piece I'm gonna probably have to glue back in, but yeah, that's it. We just came off an episode, actually the first official episode of Take Your Position Live. I did with Iron Logan, so that was fun. Like, it was fun. We got a good response from the audience, and they want us to do it again, so we'll do it every Sunday, 4:30. So It was fun.
Oh yeah, dude! I was watching some of it, so yeah, it was dude. You guys are coming out with some fire poses, and I saw you actually inspired another collector on Facebook who posted Iron Spider and that cool pose.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's sick, man. You guys are like inspirational. So
definitely, bro. And apparently, we've enabled a couple of people to actually go out and buy, Hawkeye. I'm like, yo, if you don't have it in your collection, like, this is one of the hottest figures that actually it's so underrated, bro.
It is. I sold it, so
it is. It's simply.
So I've
had mine for a while. I haven't had a chance to crack it open yet. So
Mario, did you watch the show yet?
I started to on the train right up there, but I didn't want to waste my battery. So I just got to go back and watch it.
Okay, you'll like it. Well, I'll just say you'll really want that Ronin suit. No spoilers, but you will want that suit. So that's kind of what I kind of regret selling it now. So it's all is what it is. Justin,
hello.
How's it going, man?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking, Will.
Doing fine. Well, you sent me a nice meme between portrait versus head sculpt.
I felt like
fancy poo in there.
Yeah, I felt like you needed to see it.
Right.
I felt like it was something that you needed to see. So I'm glad that you received it.
Let me share it with the people, Justin, because this is kind of a little bit. We're gonna get into this a little bit later, right?
Nice.
It's kind of true.
Oh,
it's kind of true.
God.
I mean, head sculpt, you're just real down to earth, simple poo, and then fancy poo. That's when you say portrait. So.
Oh, I can't even. Thank you to the person who made that. I forget your name, but I was sent that, so thank you very much for that. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get a lot of use out of it.
We definitely will. Figures and flicks and frights and philosophy and food and fun.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I'm doing fine. I don't know if you all know, but my air conditioner has been working and not working and then working and then not working. It's currently, I don't know what, it's hot. Like 1,000 degrees, I guess, whatever y'all do in America degrees. It's whatever y'all consider hot it is here. So luckily it's working today. and I'm able to sit here and not cook myself. So I mean, I'm thankful for that. Seeing as you had your Thanksgiving, people were messaging me saying, happy Thanksgiving,
Right.
even though it's not a thing down here in Australia. But I'm thankful
It
for my
should be.
air conditioner working.
Yeah, there you go. Then Justin, we got to get you on that Fahrenheit train because Celsius is old news. It's all about the Fahrenheit.
Celsius is perfection, because your 0 is going to be your freezing and 100 is going to be your boiling. It makes perfect sense.
Well, I don't know about that. Hundreds boiling here sure feels like it. So, but right
Yeah, I would imagine.
exactly. So Aries, man, so happy. First time on the channel. The Hot Toys Wizard, the Star Wars market Hot Toys Wizard, here to talk about Spider-Man and Venom and philosophical topics. We're really taking you out of your element tonight, but I'm really excited, Aries.
Look, I'm real happy to be here and be here with you all. Thank you so much for having me on. We're going to have a blast, and it's so good to just stretch out in the community and whatnot. Thank God that it's in Western PA. It is freezing, so
Yes,
I don't
it
have
is.
the air conditioner. But thank God
Yes,
the
it
heat
is
working.
Yes, it is.
But no, I'm really looking forward to hanging with you all tonight and chatting it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Aries, I didn't know you and Leia were in the same state. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's you are in PA, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm in
Mhm.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, man.
Harrisburg. I am in the Pittsburgh area. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
4
Not
hours
too
away.
far. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm in Maryland, so I'm not far from you guys either, and I'm in the same state as brother cousins actually, which we just found out a couple
Nice.
streams ago. So.
Oh, you're in Maryland. It's a small world.
It is. It really is. Us East Coasters, we got to represent against guys like Mario on the West Coast. So we got to
That's
hold.
right.
it
Hey,
down for you.
KG too. KG's a California native, isn't he? So
What?
Yeah.
That's right.
In
I
case
knew,
you're on the
I
West
knew he was
Coast, I
big
didn't know
time.
that.
He's a superstar for a reason. He's
No,
a big game actor.
I have like 10 houses all over the place. So.
You do. Well, after Willy Wonka and after Dune and everything else. you
But
got.
bro,
Which I don't know why
home
he's
is on
here.
the West Coast,
I
bro.
do not know why he's on this show tonight. I really don't.
See, Aries,
He's
you
not
don't
supposed to be
know.
here.
KG looks a lot like Timothy Chalamet, the actor. So we call him KG Chalamet because he basically is his stunt double, if not him exactly. So
Well, I know
he's
you're
not
real
just
popular out there, KG. I see all the memes and stuff with your picture on there. You're very
Yep.
popular.
and
I
I know
wonder who did that.
Chalamet is not Justin's favorite, but he's a good actor. He's a good actor. So I know, Justin. I know. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but it's okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
You scared him away.
I know. Sorry, Justin. Okay, so what we're going to talk about first, we're going to talk about this Hot Toys Battle Damage upgrade suit because this definitely came out of nowhere. This is one that I think a lot of people were not expecting at all because we've never actually gotten a Hot Toys Battle Damage Spider-Man as far as I'm aware. So this is one I think that caught a lot of people by surprise and in a good way, but it is kind of a little bit different than your normal movie promo just because it comes with a lot more, right? So I want to get into this with you guys, but KG, I want to start with you because you're the resident. You and Leo are the biggest Spider-Man fans on the panel for sure. So with this suit, do you have the upgrade suit, one? And two, are you considering exchanging it for, the battling version? If not, are you just going to get this version? Or what's your thoughts on it?
I do have the upgraded suit, and no, I'm not going to exchange it because I think for me personally, this suit is by far different from that. I can tell. I mean, to me, I don't see it as it's the same thing. I'm going to sell the other one. No, I mean, to me, I'm in the Spidey hole, so I have to get this. That base alone is just amazing. And having this, I have a plan with each of my villain Spider-Man collection where I'm going to have each villain is going to have their own Spider-Man. So for this guy, he's going to go with Mysterio because of the end fight scene Far From Home. He has battle damage. So I'm going to use that for that. And that box is going to go with the upgraded suit, the regular upgraded suit. And who knows, one day if they do a Doctor Strange, put that next to him in the shelf. But yeah, this is a great suit. I mean, I'm going to pre-order this day one. It's the must buy for me. And plus, it's very limited. So I would recommend people who want this figure or that have a slight chance of getting it, do it. It's worth the price, I think. I heard it's gonna be like $380 if I'm correct.
It's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to say because all we have right now to go off of is the Hong Kong price, then what it is on Tours Wonderland. Tours Wonderland's second batch is 408. So
408. Okay.
It's hard to determine where that's going to be, but I think it would probably be maybe sideshow like 350. Maybe
350.
like
I would think so.
That's what I'm thinking. But who knows? I mean, the deluxe, the integrated suit was like 425. So
that's right. That's right.
So hard to say. And this has a diorama base too. Maybe not quite as intricate, but still one. So
yeah, for sure. And this base you can use it with anything you want. I mean, I'm planning to use this base with my stealth suit. It's a very nice base. You can use it with any figure that you want, and there's no name plaque, which makes it even better. I love when it comes to bases, I know we're going to talk about bases later on in the stream.
Mhm.
They bring something to the character, and when it's a diorama base where there's no name plaque, it can be used by anything. It's great. I absolutely love that. And with the battle damage Thanos, it's so versatile. You can use it with any figure that you want. And yeah, I'm in love with bases. I'm a sucker when it comes to diorama bases. This is a must-have for me, for sure.
So Mario, what do you think? Spider-Man. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm interested.
You know what? I was always a fan of this suit. I mean, I did have it on pre-order a while ago for the last movie, but just ended up canceling just because my change in direction in my collection. And I love the idea that there's another movie promo. One of the last ones was that comes to mind is not the Civil War cap, the Infinity War cap, and I know that one sat on the shelves for a while. I mean, I'm sure it was like massively overproduced. However, the Spider-Man one that came out for the last movie, I believe that one went fairly quick, so I would suspect this one to do the same. I like the fact how they included this head sculpt with the half mast before, so I thought that's a nice touch. Same thing with the base. You know, I love the idea of a diorama base. I personally am starting to become more and more of a fan of that, you know, considering the route that I've been collecting lately with some of these statues are concerned. I mean, I love to see to me, it just tells a little bit more of a story. However, a lot of collectors, when I first started collecting, a lot of collectors really didn't use bases. Me being out here in earthquake country, it's a must.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So I feel like I've always been, you know, tied down to them just for that. And plus, I don't want to take the chance of anything just falling over. So I feel much more secure, you know, having a base. And I'd love to see this. Price wise, I really don't know. 280 sounds like a lot. I understand that's a normal now. But
I think it'll
it
be
just
more than
seems
Yeah.
okay.
I think you're looking at like
well,
350
given the
probably.
base, the base, that's right.
350 probably, yeah.
Still, even so, I mean, is it worth it? I'm sure for some. For me personally, this is something I'm going to pass on because I sold off all my Spidey figures. I do want one in the collection. I think the only one that I'm going to hold on to is is Miles from the Spider-Verse. That's the one that I'm really looking forward to the most.
Yes.
But
Me too.
But yeah, no, this is a cool looking figure, and I love the battle damage, man. When we received the battle damage on the Civil War cap, dude, I still have that figure to this day, and I absolutely love it.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna have a hard time getting rid of it if I have to, but
It's a good figure.
But yeah, no, it looks great. It looks really, really great.
So Aries, I know as the Star Wars master, the guru that you are, I know you said your daughter's a big Spider-Man fan. So, you know, with this, I don't know if she's into Hot Toys yet or what the deal is, but if you were into Marvel Hot Toys, would this be something you pick up? What are your general thoughts on it?
Oh, absolutely. If I was into Marvel Hot Toys, yes. Believe me, she's eyeballing these. So, yeah.
Oh, it's a dangerous path, my friend.
Dangerous time path for the third and fourth job. I'm telling you.
Right, exactly.
I mean, this is beautiful, though. And really, for me, the thing that's very intriguing is this whole movie promo edition. And I was looking, Mario, you brought up that I think that they did this with the Far From Home as well.
Yeah.
They did, and went really quick. And so I'm really curious to see if this is just really a Marvel trend, or, you know, hey, we're going to just do this with Spider-Man, or are they going to do this? Is it possible they're going to do this, with DC or with Star Wars, or something that they're going to, do a whole lot more of? Now, I know with Star Wars, for instance, obviously we're probably not getting a movie until probably 2024 now, maybe 2023. But could they do something like this, like a movie promo edition? Is it possible?
They actually did.
Yeah, but could they do a TV edition? Could they do like a TV show edition?
Which figure do they do that for?
For Star Wars, they did it with the First Order, the Jakku Trooper.
Oh, okay, got it.
That was a movie promo back in the day.
Right there. That's old school, yeah.
Right.
Because that was Force Awakens, right? So that was what, 2015?
TFA 2015.
Yeah. Crazy. Sorry, Aries.
Yeah, and Sith Trooper was out before Rise of Skywalker 2 at SDCC.
Yeah.
Right, that you're talking about, Justin, the Sith Trooper.
Yeah, right.
At the Sandy. Yes. So is this something that's going to stay like that? Like, it seems like it's kind of spaced out. Is it going to continue to be spaced out, or now do you think it's going to be a little bit more of the norm? And I'm kind of getting like an impression, I don't know, maybe we're going to see more of these, maybe with TV shows, on Disney Plus, maybe with Marvel and Star Wars. You could see that, or it could just be every once in a while. But that's very, very interesting to me. I love the base.
Yeah.
I think the head sculpt, the half mast head sculpt, I think it's different when I was looking at the Far From Home releases they just came out with a week ago. I don't know if you guys agree, but I was just looking at it really quick and checking it out. So I think it's the same head sculpt, but I guess you guys would know. But it looks like they'd certainly changed aspects at the very
it's the
least.
same sculpt overall. Yeah,
but it's looking a different way. I would think
slightly,
when I first looked
but
at it.
yeah.
So I think that this is I think it's awesome. My main thing, how many are they going to produce? And should you jump on this really, really quick? And Lael, I know we were talking about this last night, and you too, you as well, Will. But it's going to be interesting. I think that aspect of it.
Yeah. I think on Toys Wonderland, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 800 limited. 800 of them. So
Justin,
Hong Kong,
is that a confirmed number?
Yeah, for Hong Kong. Yeah.
So, Justin, can you speak to that in a little bit of like the movie promo aspect and just thoughts on the figure?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes they do movie promo, and sometimes they don't. It kind of goes as deep as that.
It's like Hot Toys, like you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You literally never know. But usually the movie promo is supposed to be out around the same time, if not give or take a few months after the film. This, for some reason, seems to be dated in 2023. So I guess, like Hot Toys always tends to do, none of their previous stuff can be applied to. I don't know why they're so hit and miss with their formulas and how they get stuff out. But the black and gold suit is out now. That should have been a movie promo, in my opinion.
Right.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, but
I
would love to see. I would love to see more movie promo. Like, the whole idea of movie promo is it promos the movie. Like, you sell it alongside the movie. So it's kind of dumb for them, in my opinion, to give movie promo to this battling version, also weird name, of Spidey here. I think that, as I said, black and gold suit should have been movie promo. This should have been a regular release. But anyway, I guess we're just getting into semantics. The 800 limited is just for Hong Kong. I don't know how many they're going to sell in the US, or if they're going to sell it in the US. Did they sell the Far From Home tech suit Spidey in the US, and how long after Japan did it go up for sale?
See,
in
it went
US?
up pretty quickly. That's a great question. It went up pretty quickly, Justin, but I remember it also selling out pretty quickly. Like, I remember it, like, it was one of those rare ones where the pre-order sold out in like a day or two, I think, because it was like $204. It was such a good deal. So
yes,
it sold out really.
Well, this
I have
won't be
one.
that.
Yeah. No, this will be like $350 or something. Yeah,
this will be a little bit more pricey, but you are getting more.
Yeah.
My question with this is, how is it going to look in hand? Because let's be honest, when you're doing a battle damage Iron Man figure, it's easy. You can create your tampos, you can print on the armor the battle damage. Same thing with a clone. Same thing with pretty much everything battle damage that Hot Toys have ever made, except for maybe the battling version of Captain America, which wasn't all that weathered compared to this. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be any variance between people's copies of this Spidey, because weathering material is a lot more difficult to get uniformly done than plastic. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be good ones and bad ones, or if they're somehow going to print all of this battle damage soot. Someone said this is a chimney sweep version of Spidey. I laughed at that. I don't know if they're going to print it on the fabric or something, but I am curious to see if it is uniform between all of the batches, because that's something that I haven't seen them do before, is battle damage full fabric outfits, except for that Cap, who wasn't all that battle damage. Really.
I think, Justin, you could probably speak to this too. Isn't like, I heard one of the reasons they don't kind of give it full battle damage like tears, because the tears will expand. Like, if you pose it, it's going to become a bigger tear. So like, exactly. So it's kind of like you said, chimney version, or like he fell down in the dirt or something.
He's got
like
a few scratches, here and there on the surface, but it's not that crazy. Now, I don't know, KG, I don't know if this is going to affect your decision to display him with Mysterio, but this suit is accurate only to No Way Home. In Far From Home, he has the black panels on his belt.
Whereas
This time they've changed it, which I'm happy that they did because that's now accurate to No Way Home. I am curious to see like why that change is there. If in the movie it seems like it's going to just start up right where Far From Home left off when he was swinging through the city with MJ.
Yeah,
and it's just suddenly his suit's going to be different.
They're not going to
don't
explain
really-
it.
Correct. I don't really love
You
that.
know.
Like just that random change, just for the sake of it being a little. It's very slightly different, but I do like it better. This looks a lot more classic Spidey with the Spidey.
Mhm.
Now, Justin,
belt.
do you think
Yes.
we're going to get the same suit but clean version? Do you think we're going to get that?
I don't think so because we have so many other suits that are going to be featured. We've got integrated suit, we've got black and gold suit, then we have, it seems, another version of black and gold suit with like duct tape and all this other random shit on it. I was told that there are going to be 6 Spidey suits in this film by people close to the production. I don't know if that means 6 suits for Tom or 6 suits in total. I don't know. But I was told there's going to be 6. And we've got integrated suit, we've got Iron Spider, we've got this battling version, and we've got black and gold suit. So that leaves 2 more. So we'll have to wait and see who else. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an Iron Spider movie promo or an Iron Spider 2.0, because it seems like it's featured pretty heavily in the marketing for this movie. It's on the freaking poster. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a new version, which I know would make people very happy.
Yeah.
If they improve.
Right.
If they improve.
So, Leal, I know you talked about this on Aries' show a little bit last night, but just give us a general rundown on your thoughts on this battle damage suit again for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good looking suit. Again,
Oh, Leal's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Leal, you might have to restart your computer because he is frozen again.
I'm just going to say that box is going to sell this
am I
figure.
back?
He's
kind
back.
of, Leal.
Yeah, once I get done with this thought, I'm actually rebooted because
Okay. Oh, wait,
it's been
sorry. Go
doing-
ahead. You're
it-
back now.
Yeah, it did this the entire time that I was actually on, take your position. But no, I would have, loved to actually see a battle damage suit for, Far From Home. That was one of my biggest gripes that they didn't release that suit.
He's frozen again.
He's frozen again.
He's good for a little
Frozen
while.
in
and
time.
Back to being frozen. All right. So I'll let Leal
Leal will
reboot.
be
I'll
back.
remove him from the stream real quick. And then let Leal reboot so he can come back in. So guys, there's just this figure for sure. I mean, it definitely looks like a cool one. I'm just going to be interested to see if this goes up on Sideshow. I think it will, because like you guys were talking about with the Far From Home, movie promo version, that one went up, and then it did sell out pretty quickly. So Aries raised a really good question. Do people need to jump on this pretty quickly? It's so hard to tell because, like Justin said, you never know.
So
It's that box,
You think
I
so,
think.
Justin?
I think so. What were you going to say, KG? The mother box, the
mother
All-Star?
box. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you think about it, rumors has it that this box is holding the villains. And it's going to make more
Oh
people
my god.
That
to
would make
get
sense.
this. And you can tell in the trailer where my theory is that they capture the villains, and then he hears about, it's their fate. And then he's like, yeah, me too. He grabs it, and he's like, there has to be another way, because, he has no kill code thing. So I think this box is going to play a huge role in the film, and I think it will sell out because of that box. And I think it's going to be only limited or exclusive to this Spider-Man only. So I'm just saying.
Right.
Ooh, that would be a
That's a-
clever business move. Oh, Hot Toys.
Yeah, see, KJ should be working for Hot Toys. Huh? Yeah. do some marketing for Hot Toys, KJ. But guys, so I want to jump real quick to another figure because there's another one that got announced, which Justin kind of foreshadowed a little bit. So it is one for sure that I think he was seeing as that it was coming down the pipeline, but other people were a little more surprised by it. So this Venom, right? And this is funny because they showed, like Justin said, they showed a Venom with Carnage at Secret Base. And Justin, if I remember correctly, they had a Venom 2 base with it, right?
Correct. Yes.
So Justin, this does not come as a surprise to you, right?
Yeah. No, I was told before our stream last week. I was told by someone who has a contact at Hot Toys, a reissue, and they specifically called it a reissue. A reissue of Venom is coming with some new bits and pieces, and luckily that source is usually pretty good. That's that source that I use. So it happened and it's here. I am not mad about this. Some people are mad about this because they have the first version, but there are a couple of different ways you can look at it, I think. If you have the first version and you're getting Carnage, you get this head anyway. Win-win. If you don't have the first version, then you can get this. And then you do get the head. Also win-win. I think where people are getting upset is they've got Carnage coming, and they're like, oh, well, I bought the deluxe version of Carnage, now I don't need that spare head. But, that is true, but you are getting the bust. So it's not like you're getting nothing that you can use with this guy. So you are getting still value, so you can have a Venom bust. Maybe you want to display both of your Venom things with that head on it. I don't know. Maybe you love it so much that you want to use so nice you want to use it twice. So you can have the bust with that head on, and you can have your Venom with that head on.
Right.
So I'm personally not offended by this. I don't know how Will feels because he got real upset when they did the Chrome Beskar one. But also
there was a
freaking out.
comment about that. Chrome
This guy
Mando.
is going to be out in like 2023. So everyone gets like so angry and so upset, but you still have the only Venom for at least 1 to 2 years. So people are like, oh, I'm going to cancel my Venom. You can cancel it, but then you're not going to have anything for at least, it might even be longer. They might delay it, and you could be sitting here for 3 years. Who knows?
Yeah.
So everyone just needs to chill for a moment. Just chill. It's going to be okay. It's multiple years down the line. It's like if you bought a PS5 today and then Sony announced, oh, in 2 years' time, we're dropping PS6. Well, of course they are. That's how it works. There is going to be a new version at some point.
Right.
And a 1 to 2 year run is pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
The reason, Justin, I don't have as much of I don't really have a problem with this one at all is because I feel like Beskar Mando was a different circumstance because this Venom, like you said, Carnage already comes with this head sculpt. That's the pretty much the only difference between this Venom and the original Venom. Unless there's something new in the paint apps that are going to prevent the peeling that we don't know about, but I don't think that's the case.
I doubt it.
So I doubt it too. So
someone was really freaking out.
It's basically
about
just a
peeling
reissue.
thing.
I mean, it's a reissue besides the fact that you get the other head, but most people already pre-ordered Carnage anyway, I would suspect. If not, they were only going to get Venom, and now you get the Venom you really want with the head that most people want. So I see this as a win for everybody, really. There was a good question Cuervo was asking, like, I'm not sure whether to cancel my PO on the original one. I don't want the Carnage.
No.
Maybe I switch to this version for that new head sculpt. If you don't want the Carnage, I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't. I mean, if I would just keep what you have.
Just keep it, and then you can sell it in like 2 years' time, and then you can get the new one. You don't want to be without a Venom for now, because if and maybe he will, if he shows up in this Spidey movie, the hype for Venom is going to be insane.
Right.
And you're going to be like, why did I cancel my pre-order? I could have had that Venom in my display with Spidey. What the hell? Don't do that to yourself.
Right.
And it's a tricky, for me, basically, it just comes down to, Justin, the fact that how much you really want this head you're seeing on screen. Because if you really, really want that head and you don't want Carnage, then I'm okay with canceling
Carnage,
it.
Though?
I know, that's the thing. As long as you can afford Carnage, Carnage is pretty awesome. I mean, Carnage is and it's to have those two together would have a lot of presence on the shelf. So
Just save, folks. You got 2 years to save for Carnage, and you get this head, and you get a bust.
Right.
Just
exactly.
That's what I would do, honestly. If you want Carnage, if you don't want Carnage, then I mean, you could cancel your original pre-order, but as long as you get your NRD back. But you're gonna wait for Venom. As long as you're fine waiting for Venom, I'm good either way, really. But whatever you want to do. But so Aries, get out that third job, that fourth job, because you need a Spider-Man. You might need a Venom. Who knows how your daughter feels about that one? But what do you think about this Venom, Aries? I know you're big on the secondary market, so this, if you were watching Marvel too, this might be something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, just talking about the figure itself, and I know that this is a reissue. I mean, as a kid, you're playing with toys and you're getting these figures, or you're getting your old Pulsar, or you're getting your old whatever it is that you're playing with, Plastic Man. This is like awesome. It's awesome. I mean, Hot Toys just kills it with this figure. I understand the issues about the peeling and all that, but this thing, like, hey, a young boy playing with a toy, my goodness, this thing is like, you have to have it.
Yeah.
That being said, I am completely with Justin on this, because I totally agree. I love the PS5 analogy.
Thank you. I have a lot of analogies.
I really do. They're going to come out with PS6. well, and they might come out. Look, it's like when you buy your iPhone. I got the latest iPhone. By the way, the next one is coming out Same thing.
Same time next year.
Exactly.
Justin knows.
So
I know.
He's the expert.
I get the sense that, and I've said this a lot, and I follow the secondary market obviously a lot when it comes to Star Wars.
Mhm.
You can't buy these things thinking that they're never going to be reissued. There's not going to be an upgraded version. And you're kind of buying it like you got a collectible that is just a one-time collectible. It's never going to get reissued. I mean, I've mentioned this before. They're called hot toys.
Mhm.
It is a toy. Okay. It's actually in their name. And I think that sometimes I understand, because I love it when my figures are worth $1,000 or a certain buku bucks. But the reality is, if you're just banking on that, I think you're going to be let down. You've got to collect these because you love Hot Toys, you love what they're doing, and not really bank on that they're not going to reissue or come out with a version that's going to come with a head sculpt. Why didn't I just wait for that version? Now I've got to rebuy it again. Well, no, I think everybody wins with this. Like you said, if you get the cartage, you get the Eddie Brock head sculpt, so you have that there. You don't need to necessarily buy this one if you have the other one, but it gives collectors that missed out on the original Venom, they can go ahead and get this Venom as well. Hot Toys is in the business of making money.
Right.
Spider-Man is hot. They're going to come out and reissue some of these figures, and maybe possibly a whole lot of them in the future. So for me, I'm right with Justin on this, and right with you, Will, on this. Not the chrome-plated Mandalorian, but I get your point on that too. But no, that's my thoughts on this, and I think this is a great figure, and I got no problem with it.
Gotcha.
Right.
That's awesome. So Mario, what do you think, man? What do you think about this Venom 2 Venom?
First thing, let me say, all this talk about getting head with this figure and getting head with that figure, getting extra head is a good thing. All right, you'd love to hear it.
Okay.
That's always a win-win.
Yeah.
But you know what? I understand everyone's. I'm sorry, KG.
KG, close your ears, bro. Close your ears.
Oh man.
Yes. See, KG's too young, and he's pure Mario.
Hey man, he's hanging out with the fellas, man.
You can't taint his soul. Well, come on. He's
Anyways,
going to hell
now. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Let me escort you there.
Areas,
you have no idea when you joined, did you?
I'm making sure I don't spill my coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, keep that spatula close too, brother.
It's right here, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, love to see it, man. Oh man, so
don't break John's heart, Mario. I see him in the chat. He's upset.
No, I know he's there. I know. I see him. I've always been on the fence about these reissues in general. I can understand both sides completely, but considering that this Venom was pushing what, $900 on the aftermarket right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they capitalize on that and give all the other collectors an opportunity that missed out? Give them the chance to pick this up. Right. So that's great. That's fine and all, but on the other side of the fence, I can also see the argument as to trying to hold on to the collectability. I understand Aries mentioned that these are hot toys, and I completely agree, especially even more so with the way that the trend has been lately. It's just that before, I know I'm sounding like an old fart, curmudgeon, whatever you want to say. When I first started collecting, this wasn't really a thing. There have been 2.0 upgrades, which is great. You always, as technology progresses, we're going to see, the improved figure drop and release, which is great.
Right.
But yeah, it's just trying to maintain the overall collectability. I understand how it can turn off also some collectors as well. Like I said, I'm on the fence on this topic. Enjoy the show before it goes in. Sorry, John.
Aries. John hates reissues. He's the reissue hate train guy. So he's such a good guy. But
I'm sorry, John.
Sorry,
but no, it's a great looking figure. And at the same time, maybe this is their chance to address some of the issues that did come with the previous release, as regards as the paint flaking and this, that, and the other. So I hope they do. So, but then again, I honestly wasn't expecting this Even though they do tease stuff that may be coming all the time. I think Just is the exception, considering that he has the sources in this and that. But from just seeing old trends, they'll show one thing, but it just never comes out. It's like I don't know if y'all follow tech, but back in the day when they would show something like at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, that would never come out. It would be basically called vaporware. So it's the same thing, that I consider with Hot Toys too, considering that we've seen some other figures from other properties that have really never, made the light of day. What's his name? Baze Malvis.
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Yeah.
No,
Damn it.
please.
And
Where's the Spotchka?
Yellow
Poe
jacket.
Dameron. Yeah, exactly. Yellow jacket
Yellow
as well.
jacket.
Corvus
Hell, freaking
Glaive is the
Sentry.
main
General Obi-Wan, we're still waiting for it. See, now
Oh.
here's the thing. I mean,
Oh.
we're all
Aries knows
waiting
about
for these
that
figures. We're all waiting for these figures, and every time that there's a reissue release, it's like, come on. I mean, you guys were just talking about this too recently. So it's like, look, I appreciate that you guys are giving the collectors an opportunity to go back and get this figure again, considering the high price point on the aftermarket. But at the same time, I mean, at least, give us an update as far as to what's going on. Are we even going to see these figures that you're really showing us before on previous cons and, and everything else? So,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if I could quantify something too. So let me quantify what I was saying, that it's not that I agree or like reissues. What it is for me is I've kind of accepted it, so I don't have a problem with it. Case in point,
right.
I have a Dark Side Anakin, and when I bought it back last year, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, I don't know, it was $400 all in, shipping, taxes, everything, and I was fine with that. But I know they're going to reissue this in some capacity, and I'm okay paying the money that I paid for it, even if it goes down. And it's going to go down too much. Maybe it'll be there, maybe it'll be in the 300s. But I have some of these figures here, like the Emperor on the throne, the deluxe. And sure, I'm kind of accepting the fact they might not do it this year. They might not do it the next 5 years. But perhaps, maybe with the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, that'll get reissued. And if that figure's up to $900 at that point, I've accepted it, which is why I'm fine with it. Otherwise, it's too much stress. And I'm recognizing with this hobby, this is what they're doing with these hot toys. So that's my point with it.
Gotcha. So guys, I want to hit a couple super chats real quick before I hit Layao and KG on this one. So Aaron Logan, thank you so much. Guys, I'll address the chat in a little bit too. I'll probably do it at the end of the show because I totally forgot to do it in the beginning. So my apologies. Aaron Logan, great panel this evening. It's nice to see Aries in the mingle. Aries is mingling, baby. He's here. Got the spotchka and the coffee. So he's here. All right. That's a great point though, Aries. We might explore that a little bit further. That wasn't a topic I had planned tonight, but I think it's a really a good one. Lewis Libbets, what's up, everyone? Awesome panel tonight. Hope everyone had a good collector's Thanksgiving. We did indeed, at least as far as I'm aware. Even Justin, who doesn't even celebrate Thanksgiving, he had a good one because everyone wished him one. So
Sure did. Thank you.
yeah, exactly. So it's like he lives in America almost. It's like you should.
Almost.
I love how Lewis's avatar is like lined up almost perfectly with Lael on the bottom to where it looks like we got Boba Fett on the bottom.
Leo has a Boba helmet. Okay. Now, how many are staying up to purchase tickets at 12 a.m.? Well, I know KG is. So, and Aries might now because we kind of talked him into it. So he might be. I don't know. But the rest of us.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, KG, before I hit you, I want to hit Layao real quick on this one. Layao.
Sure.
What's up?
Give us your thoughts on the Venom again. I know we're kind of talking about the reissue topic. John, I know left. He was upset with us. So, we're talking about the reissue
Love
topic
you,
with
John.
Venom. And yeah, we love John. Seriously, he's such a cool guy. Whether just the merits of this figure and whether a reissue matters. What are your overall thoughts on it?
Okay, first, give me a second here. Am I good?
Yeah, you sound
Am I
good.
good?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
good.
not freezing up. Everything is fine,
No,
and
it's
everything's
good for
fine.
now. Yeah.
You're
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that was my fault because I left my computer on pretty much all week because I've been running updates and stuff like that. So my bad on that one.
Oh, good.
I will say this real quick. I wanted to go back to Spider-Man real quick. I wanted to get a point across.
Okay,
with that
let me
one.
bring it back up. Hold on.
I mean, you don't even have to. You can keep it here. My point with that particular figure was the simple fact that, okay, cool, I would love to actually see the battle damage version for Far From Home. We're getting it now for this particular movie. The diorama itself is worth the price of admission, so I'm happy about that piece. Now, the edition size, versus Hong Kong versus the U.S., The thing is, like, look, however, my thing is, I'll get this figure. Definitely. I don't understand the whole edition size thing. They stand to gain much more money if they just put them out, because it will sell. It's a Spider-Man figure. It's No Way Home. It's the grand finale, in my opinion. It's why we're getting so many. This will probably be Tom Holland's last go around with Marvel for now. When it comes to the IP getting handed back to Sony. So of course they're going to go all out with these figures. I do like it. Again, I would get it just for the diorama itself because it's incredible. I hope they continue this on with a lot of, of the figures that are up and coming, different IPs, whether it's Star Wars, DC, whatever. I hope they can continue that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's that computer.
Time to reset the
bro.
router, bro.
Yeah, reset that router. Let's see. Hold on. I'll move from the stream. So,
Am I back?
you're still
right now.
frozen.
Right now.
Yeah,
I can hear you,
I
but
don't. You hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, but you're free. You're good now, but you're like freezing and coming in and out.
I don't know what it is, man.
That's weird.
It's really weird. I don't know what's going on
So
with this
keep going
computer.
though. You're good now.
But anyway, jump into Venom. Let's jump to Venom. Let's go to Venom.
Let's jump to Venom. Yeah. Let me jump to Venom real quick. Let's see. So I got to go through these reissue Mark 46 comments.
oh my god!
There we
there's
go.
So many. That Hot Toys Facebook page is toxic.
I agree.
I need to comment where's
24/7.
Pennywise and Loki every time to keep
Yeah,
the
please do, yeah.
keep the theme going on the comments. Sorry, Leo, go ahead.
No, but real quick before this thing freezes up again and does some dumb shit. I'm not. Look, it's good that they did this. It's smart on their behalf, but I'm not going to get it. Mainly because I still have the original on pre-order, and considering the simple fact that I am also getting Carnage, and it comes with the head sculpt. I don't need to get this piece just for that extra accessory piece that he has with the, I guess there's like a pole he has in his hand or something like that. I don't need to get this piece for that. You know what I mean? But it is smart for people who haven't actually gotten it. If it's a chance for them to get it, it works perfectly fine. But yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's a marketing shift. And I wonder if they're doing this because he might make an appearance in No Way Home. You never know.
Spider logo,
Right,
baby.
right.
Spider logo.
We'll see.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, Justin, we're getting the spider logo. That's why they're putting this one out. It's my conspiracy theory. They're putting this one out because the spider logo one is going to
Jesus
drop
Christ.
any day.
How are they gonna do it?
Yeah. KG, what do you think about this
Gotta
Venom?
come
I
with
know
a
you have
Will
the
head
first one.
sculpt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Half
what
Venom,
was it?
half Will. We need it.
What was it, Will?
I
Whoa.
said, so KG, what do you think about this Venom? I know you have the original one already, and you had slight peeling, you said, I think?
Yeah, I'm one of the victims, unfortunately. So, but honestly, for me, at first I was pissed that they did this, and the second time I'm like, wait, Hot Toys are a business. They're here to make money, here to make more profit, and they saw the aftermarket, that the range that this guy was going for, like $1,000 online. And I actually saw like the eBay sellings, and somebody actually sold it for like I think $850. So I mean, they made some money. I think I heard somebody. Yes, I think when this was prior to this announcement, somebody actually bought $1,000 Venom before this announcement.
Wow.
So,
There's always that one buyer that happens to. There's always
don't
that one
ever do
victim.
that,
before
guys.
it
Just
reaches
my
out.
opinion.
Hey,
Don't ever
at
do
the very
that,
least, he has a Venom now. So he doesn't have to wait 2 years for a Venom.
I'll
So
take the
he's
2
not like
years.
it's not like he's getting nothing.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean?
He's not getting nothing.
It's
he didn't
not
get
like
scammed
he's
or
getting
anything.
nothing. And
Yeah.
Will can't talk because he paid a scalper for his PS5. So
That's
like,
true. I did. I had to pay
Come on,
$25.
Will.
But at the same time, I
you could
can't
be like,
get that.
I can wait for that.
Yeah.
You could
I
have.
probably could have. Yes, true.
So there you go.
No,
So
like,
let's not. Let's not. No.
Honestly, with any company out there, furniture wise, everybody's gonna make money. Everybody's gonna make a product. Hot Toys doesn't see us as collectors; they see us as consumers. They see us and like, okay, they're gonna buy. Who cares about their feelings, right? So
Yeah.
they're gonna announce whatever they want. They're in control. We don't take control of them, right? So for us, yes, some of us it pisses off, but honestly, there are collectors out there that are grateful that they did this again because some collectors didn't get the chance to go pick up the first version, and this is great. And at some level, it actually still holds the first one in value because the Riot piece is missing too, and also I believe one of the GUI grabbing arm thing is also missing in this set too. So it still holds value, and at some capacity. So, and to me, I'm probably gonna get this. I just want to see if there's going to be an issue again with the peeling, because if there is, then I'm like, I don't want to pick it up again. I don't want to have the same issue because I already have the issue with this one. And my plan is to have this one in the museum pose and to just mess up this one and just posing the hell out of them. So yeah, man, I'm all for it, man. I'm not that, mad about it. after that. And yeah, it's a great piece to have in the collection. I think a lot of collectors are happy now that they have a second chance to get the figure. And who knows, man? Venom, No Way Home. I've been hearing rumors that Peter Parker will get the symbiote, and we'll get a tease of that. So
There's
who knows?
so
we
much
might
speculation.
we might get him, full black suit Spider-Man. Who knows?
Oh, I would love to see that.
Well, they actually
With a
did
spider
release it,
logo,
right? I mean,
hopefully.
technically with a Doctor Strange suit.
And one thing too is this figure should have came with. I don't know if Justin or anybody can agree with this, but I think it should have came with a Cletus Cassidy half mask, half Carnage face bust.
Ooh,
That'd have been cool.
Yeah,
That would've been really cool.
Been awesome.
It would have been really cool if they actually did that, because then it would sell more. Then it will help.
That Woody
sell
Harrelson,
more. Right?
that Woody Harrelson likeness rights probably
prevented
pricey
that
boy.
Probably prevented it,
Yeah,
right?
because
That
I
would've-
reckon this one cost them. Oh, obviously they've already bought the license for Venom, and for Venom
Right.
2, I assume
Right,
it would have
right.
been a package deal. So to reissue this would have cost them literally nothing. No
Right.
more licensing. So this is all profit probably. So take a hit in the first one, like 55 years after the movie comes out. This one's released in a timely fashion, costs them less. Perfect business choice. It's an
Right.
expensive license, you're gonna get that.
And I
check
do
up.
hope. I think the release date for this is July 2023 from Toys R Us Land.
Ages away.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Which is a great thing, because then they can address the peeling issues, maybe, and they could fix that
I
issue.
hope they do.
And
Hope so.
because I'm glad.
I
If it
hope
was
so.
shorter, if it was like coming really soon, then I'm like, yeah, there's no way they could fix that issue.
Yeah.
But since it's a longer release date, it makes me more comfortable to go pre-order this figure, because I know that they're going to probably address the issue of the peeling and try because we know that nothing in life is going to last forever, right? But we just don't want products while we get them in hand and have that sort of issue. It just doesn't make sense. So
KG, were there any previous issues with this figure about brittle joints or anything like that? Like some of the parts breaking off or anything?
No. It's just the peeling issue so far. I've been
Okay,
hearing.
all right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's over my thoughts. I can't wait for people to have it in hand. So
Yeah.
Hey, KG, I'm glad you got your thoughts out and everything, but can you get back to the set, please?
I want my
consider me
10%
gone.
too, KG. I want my
Consider me
10%.
Yeah,
He's
you need to go
slacking, Leo. He's not
finish,
even working.
Dune 2, so that there can actually be a proper storyline.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
All right.
You
More
can-
of a
yeah,
storyline
you
than Eternals. So
Oh,
Justin
least
started this
finished
late.
at least
Shots
they
fired.
finished the arc.
Justin,
in
we
Eternals.
just broke Leo's heart twice in a matter of like 10 seconds.
I wasn't listening
Come
to
on,
you
Leo.
guys, so I don't.
Just don't even go there, Lyle.
I wasn't even listening.
Okay. All right, guys. So I want to talk about something else real quick, because we always have these philosophical topics, and this is something I discussing with you guys and other collectors recently. These diorama bases, Hot Toys they've done these before. I would say they're not totally foreign to diorama bases, right? But something I've started to notice recently is that they're including more of those as a way to give collectors something a little bit more immersive and more atmospheric, and also to make more money too.
Statuesque.
Exactly. They're seeing what Prime 1 and Queen are doing. J&D bases are pretty simple for the most part, but Prime 1 especially, they really go all out for their bases, right? So the prime example, obviously, is the most recent Spider-Man we got of the integrated suit, right?
right.
So that diorama base, and let me back out a little bit, because you can see the deluxe edition's $425, collector's edition with the normal base is $285, right? So you're paying $140 for the base. And I think to a lot of people that's worth it. But I think this is a really good question, and I like that Hot Toys gives us an option, but would you guys prefer we get more of these so we have options? Because there is a cost factor here, and there's also a space factor. Like these bigger bases, I know, Justin, you had always said, like with the Darth Maul base or Thanos bases, the bases are too big.
Fucking hell, I
right?
hate those. I
Right.
hate those
They're too
diamond.
They're
big.
really
So-
bad, Justin.
And they're not even
Stupid.
diorama
Yeah,
bases,
they're
they're just
hard
big
to-
bases.
They're
So-
huge.
yeah.
so
There is
but
no need for them.
Aries,
to be
I
that
kind of
big.
want to start with you on this one, because, for example, think of Darkseid Anakin, right? Darkseid Anakin bases like that, they're a little more, diorama-like, instead of those sand bases we get from IG and Mando. You know what I mean?
I
Those
love
things.
those, baby.
So do you like that we have these options? Like, do you generally prefer a diorama base, or are you willing to pay more for one? What's your general preference?
Well, I think that there's a couple of things here with these bases that they're offering. I personally love the bases, and if they're going to give me something for me, they're attracting me with these bases a lot of times, because it has more of a story to the actual moment within the film, or something perhaps with the story that they're intertwining. within the film. Case in point, when you look at that, and I'll stay on this, but when you look at that awesome base with the quarter scale Mandalorian, you think about getting that just for that base with the IG-11 head. But to stay on this, I like it because I think for some collectors, it's like, wow, if you get this deluxe version, you get this awesome base and it has a little bit of a story that's intertwined in the base or whatnot. And then for some collectors, they're like, hey, I don't got room for this. This is not going to fit in. If they offer it without the base, I think that that's a good call too, because, from a marketing standpoint, you don't leave out the people's like, hey, I don't need this. I don't want to spend. Like you said, it's an extra 140 for this. But I do think you get, and I could be wrong, a half mast head sculpt with that as well, right? It's not just the base.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think that's a good deal, 140 if you're getting a head sculpt. I know you're going to talk about them later because I have some thoughts on the head sculpts, but I personally, I'd almost would pay 140 for a head sculpt, but I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
But I think that that's a good deal. But I also think it's not just for people that want to put a figure necessarily on a base. I actually think for me, it almost attracts me. It's like that extra, even if I don't use the base, I have it and it's a collectible and I have this extra moment, even if I leave it in the box, just to know I have it. So I think that there may be some collectors that you attract with that as well, a third part. Ones that want the base, ones that don't want the base, and ones that just want an extra accessory that is cool just because they want everything. That's my thoughts on it.
Gotcha. So Justin, where do you stand on this with diorama bases? Do you think you'll want more diorama bases in your collection? Because they do take up a lot of space. I know you got the module cases, pretty full at the moment. You got some space still left over, but I want to make sure you feel good about these diorama bases.
I'll always take a diorama base over not having it. Look at that one. Look at KG's little molten display base. It's looking badass. Molten Man. It's popping off. But what I will say is, Hot Toys, you'll need to be including the regular stand with the deluxe as well. I absolutely
100,
hate
absolutely
that you have to choose. With the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, you got the Sarlacc pit with the deluxe, and you got the normal base. You get both.
Right.
The same thing with Spidey from the
Sandman base.
Spidey with the Sandman, correct, with the Sandman base and the normal base. DX07 Luke, same thing, normal base, blah, blah. Superman Christopher Reeves, you get the Fortress of Solitude and you get the normal base. I hate that you cannot get an ultimate version that comes with everything.
Right.
Why do I have to choose between a standard base and a diorama base? Because you end up buying both if you want to display just a normal base, which is ridiculous because you shouldn't have to buy another figure just to get a stupid hexagonal base that says Spider-Man on it. You can buy that for $10, $15 on the aftermarket, which most people, it turns out, will be doing that. Because as your collection evolves, say this is your first Spidey piece, you have space for that base now, but you may not have space for that base in a year's time when you have black and gold suit and homemade suit and tech suit and all the other different suits that Spidey seems to have in his closet. So I'm all for it, but I think they need to bring back the inclusion of the standard base as well. I think it's a bit ridiculous that there's no version that has everything.
Right.
Because that base, this the standard one, should be included. We'll bring up some pretty good diorama bases. I love that one there. It's badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it.
What's interesting too, Justin and Aries, like a lot of people like Lael and others use DTOFs, right? So fitting this guy, I do have this Jack Sparrow and I do have him on this base in a DTOF, but it is very tight. It's very tight. His head is very close to the top. So, and I'm worried about, like, say, Pennywise. I'm not sure on his base he's going to fit, right?
Damn it.
Like, I'm not
Pennywise
sure he's
is huge, Will. He will not fit. That base is big. He's very big.
Right.
He will not fit. Unless you have him sort of, he's creepy. You can have him crunch down.
Yeah, maybe crunch down, grab him somebody or something.
Yeah.
No.
Grab him something.
Right,
Just do that.
But
totally
like Darkseid Anakin, for example, like, he wouldn't fit in a right.
He doesn't even barely fit in the module case. So he would not advise trying to,
he's got the high ground. Let's just say that.
I got him in the Curio. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, do you, Aries? Okay.
Yes.
And the little pan droid doing something else, and he's panning. He's doing his thing. He's in the background. He's panning for I don't know what on Mustafar, but he's doing something. But I do like that they do command the attention in the display. They're a bit more extravagant. They're going for that statuesque look and feel. And I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Apparently, statue collectors do complain like figure collectors do about price, but I haven't seen it as much, so I don't know. But you're getting a pretty darn good offering for the price. Even at a higher price point such as this integrated suit, you're getting a pretty darn good offering considering you can get a 1/6 scale statue right now. You can get the 1/6 scale Dark Knight Returns Batman from Iron Studios. It does nothing. It has no swap outs. You have no accessories. You have no articulation. It's $1,000. And it's not painted any better than a Hot Toys figure. It's not using real fabric like a Hot Toys figure, and you can't move it. But we're complaining when they're getting close to $200-300. Like, what in the hell? What in the hell? Come on now. Just look at what the statue companies are doing. Hot Toys figures are actually great value, I find. Even when they get to the higher end, because you can actually do something with them. You can change the head sculpt. You can change the hands out. You can change the pose. You've got diorama pieces. That base actually has articulated Doc Ock. What do you call it?
The tendrils.
You can move them around, and you can call them up and down.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say here is that I feel like the value is still there with figures. People like say, this is so expensive. No. Just have a look at what 1/6 scale statues cost. And even from companies like Iron Studios, who I don't think are all that good. I know Will likes them, but I don't think they're great. Those prices are astronomical compared to this integrated. You could buy 2 integrated suit Spideys for the price of 1/6 scale Dark Knight Returns Batman just standing there.
That's true.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So thank you so much, Dante. Manhot Collectibles. What's up, guys? Nice to see everyone here. Really, thanks, Dante. It means a lot. Seriously. I want new bases, period. Also, I want Pennywise. Great show, guys. See, Justin, I've left my imprint on the world. Pennywise, he's a hot character now.
Will has a thing for clowns. I found he loves Heath Ledger Joker. He loves all Jokers. He loves Pennywise. Anything.
Not the Jared Leto Joker as Joker as much. He's okay, but he's not clowny enough. I like my clowns very clowny.
That's why.
Not enough balloon animals.
He's not clowny enough.
But dude, we got 129 watching. Thanks so much, guys. Feel free to drop a like. That would mean the world to us. But Lael, I know you're big about storytelling. And thanks, Justin. Big about storytelling and having these set pieces and things like that. But I know in a DTOF having stands like this are a little more difficult. What's your general take on it?
Well, my thing is, okay, it's good that we're getting these DTOFs. I mean, these dioramas. It's good that they're showing variation, but I think they're impartial because they only do it to certain figures. Like the thing is, it's like they select the ones that they think would most represent the idea instead of there's a couple of Star Wars figures that I can actually name that would actually gel well with a diorama base. You know what I mean? They're doing it with Spider-Man, of course. I mean, that's pretty much that's what's hitting right now. I just hope they continue. But I think also it's very funny that they're doing something like this now. They're really sticking home when it comes to the diorama bases, because if you see like some third-party companies have been doing this for a while. They've already introduced diorama bases with their figures. And also, Hot Toys has to see the success of some of your statue companies that actually have included diorama bases with, the statues, whether it's quarter scale, 1/3 or whatever. They have these diorama bases, and it's something that they can capitalize on. So they need to actually start doing this more with 1/6 scale. But I do agree that it should be a variant. They should actually have, because for instance, I have, I got the Doc Ock. The what was it? Not the Doc Ock, but
Green Goblin.
The Spider-Man Ock suit. It's the Ock.
The anti-Ock.
The anti-Ock suit.
Yeah.
So I have the anti-Ock suit. Now the thing is, you have to either get one or the other. One without the stand or one with the it should, if you're paying the money for basically the one that comes with the diorama base, you should get a variant. You should actually have just a regular stand if you want to use it. You know what I mean? Because it just makes more sense. It's just that, like I said, they're very selective of how they actually do it. It's not a complaint because I mean, this diorama base, like as soon as I saw this integrated suit and I saw the base itself, I ordered it because I was like, I have to have it. It's awesome. To be quite honest, you know, in my opinion, this is better than the battled version as far as diorama because there's so much more variant in this one. You know, and then on top of that, the tentacles are, you know, they fully articulate. Why not? You know what I mean? So it's just easy to have something like this. But I think they should do something like this more than just limiting it to certain figures and certain IPs. But, you know, that's, you know, when we look at it, okay, and I hate to be that person, you know what I mean? But I was pissed and I am still a little bit butthurt at the simple fact that when we got that, oh yeah, I already have this and that's fine. I'm not even worried about this. But when we actually got, the Dark Side Anakin.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And I'm pretty sure it pissed a lot of people off. It's considered the simple fact that you had already ordered the regular version. Why not give us 2 head sculpts? But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to that point. Yeah. But as far as the diorama base, even with that particular figure, there should have been variants, and it wasn't.
Right.
Like it would have made perfectly good sense. But I mean, again, this is what they do. Hot Toys, their logic really doesn't make sense to me, but I guess they know what they're doing. I mean, I guess they think they're
don't give them that credit,
right? I'm trying to give them a percentage, a smidget of a credit, but just so they don't look as dumb as they already look right now. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? At least we're getting something. Yeah. But I just hope that it's, you know what? For instance, elephant in the room, those stupid ass sand bases that we keep getting with those Star Wars figures.
IG-11, bro, come on.
Like literally, like stop giving us those bases. Like you've already heard the complaint
so much.
Yeah, and I don't know what you were thinking with IG-11. Like you just thought that no one was going to mention that. Like you thought that we were just going to be like, oh, okay, maybe it was a mistake. No, it was a mistake that everybody that got that figure got the same base.
His feet don't even fit.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
His feet are rectangles.
Right.
Exactly.
Not at all, and not at all. But they actually gave us, if anything, be more innovative. Give us a sand base that's molded. That's something that it molds to the footprint. Give us something like with a foamy whatever.
Or even
that
the
would
one
make
that
more
we got
sense.
with Heavy Mando. That's
Heavy
just a
Mando,
print of sand. Like it doesn't actually have to be sculpted. It still looks.
It's exactly like you don't have to have a sculpted mold. Like you need to stop. I'm hoping that they change that up. But again, like Justin said, we're giving Hot Toys way too much credit. It's not gonna happen. But anyway, with the diorama bases, I'm happy that we're getting them. It does show a sense of innovation. I mean, they've been doing it for some time now, but still, I mean, I think they need to do it more, and they need to show Star Wars more love when they do it. So let's go.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have to talk about a specific piece necessarily, Mario, but how do you feel in general about these diorama bases? I'm just pulling up. If you guys have any other ones that I can pull up that you have good memory of that are really good ones, we talked about. I mean, we showed Boba, Jack Sparrow, Anakin, but how do you feel?
Great. The black suit Spidey, Leader is great too. Yeah.
Which the black suit Spidey? Okay, I'll look that one up. So Mario, how do you feel about the diorama bases? Is it something you're going to go for? Like, do you pay extra for that? Is it worth it in your display?
Oh no, yeah, no, absolutely. You know, anytime that I have the option of paying for a deluxe, I typically go for that. Even though if I'm not going to particularly display any of the deluxe pieces, but I just like to have the peace of mind. If I decide to change my mind, I can go ahead and do it. But yeah, Justin brought up an excellent point too, which was always been a gripe of mine as well, is that if we're going to be shelling out the extra money for these deluxe pieces, please just give us the standard base that also comes with it, instead of, because I've also gone like third party for bases and stuff like that as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with who was it? I can't remember the name right now. But like, say if I wanted like one for Yoda, right, from the Empire Strikes Back, he has it's basically the same base that comes with the Ahsoka, right? But I'm personally a fan of the nameplates, so I would like to have something like that. And I know that there's custom bases out there that'll just basically act as like a little bit of a bottom. It's like it's molded around or sculpted around the actual base, right? And you got the little nameplate, on the bottom, which is cool. Yeah. That even for Chirrut Emway, the exact same thing. But yeah, I think that it brings a little bit more, aside from telling you a little bit more of a story, that it also brings a little bit more presence on the shelf. When it comes to these diorama pieces. I hear a lot how, some people mention how a figure itself can bring so much presence to a shelf, but I think having a diorama display brings it to that extra level. So I'm much more appreciative of that. Because considering how I've been getting into some statues lately, and my heart is starting to go towards that route. And I can appreciate that. I know. I've seen you, Justin. You're going hard, bro.
I had nothing to do with it.
No, you didn't.
No,
that was somebody else. That was somebody else. Shout out to Thor. But yeah, I can appreciate when they do give us the diorama bases. I mean, this Yoda was a perfect example as well. How they give us the floating rocks was great. The extra box with the light up lamp, is great. The Spidey that you guys were just talking about right now with the from No Way Home, that looks absolutely amazing. I love that they're doing that, so I'm all for it. I mean, even though that they are charging an extra 150 for it, by all means, go ahead. You are going to sell some of those, and you're also going to sell some of the standard figures as well. So it's nice that they also give the collectors the opportunity to choose which one, where they want to put their money towards something. If they decide they don't need that base, hey, you've got the option to pick up the regular one. And also to Leo's point, I would love to see more consistency as well. Yeah. I mean, show it, especially in the Star Wars line, because there's so much going on. I mean, a lot of collectors that are collecting Star Wars right now are asking for a Han and Chewie reissue, right? Well, while I have no problem with that, but how awesome would it be if they took a page from what Sideshow did with the premium formats and do, like, I don't know, sculpt a little piece of the Falcon, behind it, and use that as a diorama base. You know what I mean? Either like the landing gear or right inside.
Would be nice.
A little cardboard picture of something, right?
Something.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, I'd be all for that. And to be honest, I mean, I have that set already, and I'd be damn tempted to pick it up again if they actually did something like that. But bottom line, I do love them. But again, I do wish that they would give us the actual basic stand that it comes with the original one anytime that they do a diorama piece as well. Yeah. And also too, can I also say the waist grabbers? Can we find an alternative, please?
Please.
I mean, come on. Especially when they're not they're giving us who was it? The War Machine, right? They gave us a little rinky-dinky base with a crotch grabber. With anything that needed a freaking waist grabber is that damn figure right there, considering the weight. Exactly, man. I mean, as to where this Captain America, this battling cap that we're looking at right now, this also came with the waist grabber. I believe. No, it didn't. No, I'm sorry. No, this came with a variation of the cross piece.
I kind of wish I had that one too.
Oh, I love it. I love this piece. Actually, I still have it.
I need to. I'm gonna get one. I think. Let me.
Justin. Justin's been enabled tonight.
But yeah, I just wish they would also find an alternative to that as well, because we've seen so much damage that damn freaking thing has been causing, and it's been a nuisance, if anything. So yeah.
What do you think, KJ? How do you feel about diorama bases?
To me, I think they should do it more often, because I think we're paying so much for these figures, and we're all getting to see these plastic hexagonal bases. I think bases, they add so much to the character and also to the display. And I think they should definitely take some pointers off of Prime One and these other statue companies, because they're doing some amazing bases for these statues. And I think like something like this Captain America movie promo edition, like that adds character to it. I mean, even the integrated suit, that base. I mean, come on. We know the villains in there. We got Sandman, we got Green Goblin, we got Doc Ock. Those villains are the Tobey Maguire villains, and we know we're gonna get a hot toy Tobey Maguire soon. So, I mean, those bases are so versatile. You can use it for anything because they don't have a name plaque. And yeah, this is another good example. The Chariot, this base, they just add so much to it, and I think. And I also agree with Justin that we should have an alternative, like if we don't want to display the diorama base, we should have a standard base with it. And when I was watching a Spider-Man video, I was actually kind of shocked that it came with a regular base, because I'm like, what happened to that with Hot Toys? They should have just kept doing that, because yes, our number one issue for many collectors like us is space. And if we don't have the space, we can find an alternative way to display our figures with these the cheap hexagonal bases or whatever might be the option. But yeah, I mean, bases like this, like I said before, it just adds to it, and it gives more display options for the collector, and it just adds so much to the display. And yeah, I hope they do more with Star Wars figures, because I think there's a lot of bases out there that can really make some of the Star Wars figures like pop, right? So I'm all in. Listen, if I have to pay a little extra, I'm all in for it. Like I'm a sucker when it comes to diorama bases, and now we see that more often now. I mean, with the Spider-Man figures now, we have that battle damage version. We're seeing it on the diorama base, so I hope they keep continuing with that. So yeah, I'm all in for it.
Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting point because I know, like Justin, we've talked about like the DX bases, like we talked about Darth Maul solo, right? For example, you have that big ass base that you could put the bench with. You could put him on the bench, put him on that. But why not also give us a smaller base that we could put him on something too? Like it takes up a lot less space. Even Thanos is a big figure. Maybe give us something a little more compact as well, because it takes up so much space. It just it's yeah.
If you do have to go for a bigger base, the ones that they use for quarter scale figures, like the Endgame Thanos, is perfect because it's bigger, but it's not so. And they use it for Venom too, obviously. It's still flat on the sides and flat front and back. So you can put stuff next to it and stuff behind it or it against the back of the cabinet. Whereas those stupid diamond ones are pointed on the back and there's a point on either side. So you can't have anything against it and you cannot have it at the back of the cabinet. Dumb, thoughtless design. Perfect KG. Exactly what I'm talking about. That's the perfect large display base. Love it. Love it.
Exactly. So guys, that leads us into our next topic pretty well because then we're getting a little fancy poo here. Fancy poo is the portrait the most important aspect of a piece?
Thing again, Will.
Yeah, I know we need to bring up that meme again because I know you guys were teasing this a little bit earlier too. Because we could this can tie in anything collectible. We can talk about hot toys. We can talk about statues. We can talk about because J&D seems to be the hot ticket right now, at least as far as statues goes, right? So, I mean, as much as Justin that Batman, we're kind of like, on it. Did sell out in 5 minutes. So,
I was one of them. So
yeah, but see,
were you? Did you get it?
He did.
I got the standard. I didn't
solo
get the Bruce
version.
Wayne one. I just got the solo one with the Bruce Wayne.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Still good.
Congrats, man.
But yeah, see,
Well,
but
I don't know. I just got it to compare to the Queen one, and then if it's not good, I'll sell it. I'm not sure about it. I'm really not sure about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Compared to the Queen one, I don't think there's really no comparison, to be honest.
I don't know. I have the Queen one, and I really love
Justin,
it.
No,
got it,
the Queen one is bad, bro. I'm sorry.
The head sculpt
but
is, I think so, but Justin likes it.
I don't know. I have it, and it's downstairs, and I looked at it, and I kept looking at it, and I love it. I think
it's a
No, that's good, man.
Maybe in person.
when I do the video,
Yeah.
I think y'all will see it in a completely different light, literally, because all the photos that I've seen have been overexposed. They've been horrible. You see no skin texture. He looks too pale. The hair doesn't look right. Trust me, I will try and do it justice, and I think you'll see it's not as bad as people are saying that it is.
I think it's more like an in-person thing you have to see for yourself instead of pictures. So
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, because with portraits, that's J&D's whole thing right now, right? The outfits are really well tailored and they're really cool, but the bases are very simplistic. It's all about the portrait, right? For a lot of people, like people raved about the Gal Gadot, people raved about the Arthur Fleck and the Heath Ledger Joker, and now Batman. So really, the portraits are a big part of it. And Justin, when we talked about Prime 1 Harley, most people didn't talk about anything but the sculpt, right? Like everyone was like saying it's good or bad, and it's purely based on the sculpt. That's entirely what they're judging. Same with Bloodsport, right? So with Hot Toys, I feel like
Bloodsport different.
Yeah, true. That's true. It's like his cousin, but we kind of do like the same thing with Hot Toys, right? When a new figure is announced or released, first thing we look at is the head sculpt. So I want to get everyone's thoughts on this and see, besides a character that's helmeted all the time and you never see their face, that would be different, obviously. But so Aries, how do you approach this? Is the portrait the most important part to you? Like if the portrait's bad, is it a no-go for a figure for you?
And when it comes to Hot Toys, for me, I think that the portrait, and for I think the vast majority, probably of the community subconsciously for Hot Toys, I say yes, because I think what Hot Toys is famous for, at least right now anyway, is when you look at these head sculpts, it's almost like if you get Jyn Erso in your hand, it's like you have Felicity Jones in the palm of your hand. It looks so realistic. So I think that even if you look at, I think when in terms of Hot Toys, when anyone's coming into it, or what attracts them many times anyway to Hot Toys, is the fact that like, wow, these look like real. It looks like the real actress. It looks like the real actor. It looks like the real thing. It's almost like they're not even noticing any of the other tailoring or any of the other things that come along with it. And case in point, really, when it comes down to it, I think that the proof is in the pudding. When you bring up that old Iron Man, or I always hear this Tony Stank.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good the rest of the figure is. That's the main thing. And yet, even with the armor, which doesn't have a head sculpt, you have the two Phillips head screwdrivers underneath the feet. Granted, you don't see it, but to me, that does bother me. I think that's a miss because I have OCD with it. I know it's there. And then, really, it's not double jointed, but yet the head sculpt looks amazing on there, even though it's not a human. You're almost like, but the head sculpt is so good. The chest armor is so good. Who cares?
Right.
So what I continually see is that the head sculpt, when it comes to Hot Toys, matters the most. So I say, Will, yes. I think that's what people are looking for when they go to a Hot Toy. The head sculpt is perfect. It's okay if everything else could be, a little shabby here.
Yeah, exactly. So, Leo, how do you feel about this? Is the portrait?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer this question because if it cuts out, I'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just do your best. You got this. I put your favorite figure up for you.
Yeah. I love this figure, bro.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And
yeah, well, hold on. We'll get back to Leo. Okay, so we'll go with Mario on this one. Mario, how important is the portrait or head sculpt, as some who are less fancy poo might say, for a Hot Toys figure? How important is it for you?
Well, I believe that the portrait is possibly one of the most. I mean, it definitely is up there for me. I mean, that's why that's one of the reasons why I haven't really gotten the statues for until recently. Considering how much they've improved recently with their overall portraits and everything else, right? Same as Hot Toys. It really does, in my opinion, make the figure. Aries mentioned also that we can get so caught up in just staring at the portrait and getting in our head that we're actually holding down a shrunken down version of the actual person in our hands, which is absolutely amazing when they pull that off. While at the same time just neglect all the other great features about it, whether it's the overall fit and finish, the paint apps, the tailoring, everything. There's so much that goes into these pieces, and yeah, I think a lot of it tends to go to the portrait. I think like one of the best ones too was who was it? Yondu. Yondu was an amazing portrait. Even if they didn't nail it, I mean, I think the rest of the costume was warranted that purchase, considering the character. This look, the likeness. Okay, with the exception of the smile, I think the likeness is there. This one was a lot better likeness than the Civil War version, in my opinion. After when people started bringing out that, hey, the Civil War version looks like Ben Affleck, I was like, oh man, I see that now. I couldn't unsee it. But you do have your hit and misses. Y'all mentioned Tony Stank earlier. Yeah, but in my opinion, that wasn't a deal breaker because, hey, you got the helmeted option as well. You can display Iron Man as is meant to be. But yeah, I really, really always appreciate a truly well-designed portrait painted up properly. And yeah, it's necessarily not a deal breaker, but I'm more appreciative, when they actually nail it, if anything.
Right. Right. I think for most people it tends to be the most important thing. But Justin, how do you feel about this?
I would agree. I would agree for the most part. Head sculpt absolutely is the prime reason why I buy Hot Toys. Right. Most realistic, best paint applications, best likeness, 100%. Why I buy them. But I found for statues that I'm going more after something else. I'm going after the presence. And the sculpt is absolutely still very important. If it's horrible, I'm not going to get it. Although some people did say that Harley is horrible, but Anyway, we'll see when it comes.
What the hell?
We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah.
But for statues, I find myself buying for different reasons because I already have the Hot Toys version of that character most of the time, and that head sculpt is usually very, very good. So my Prime 1 Superman, great. I love the way he looks, but I would argue that the smaller version is actually better. The head sculpt and the Hot Toys figure actually looks superior, but I'm buying the 3rd scale for the presents. I want a big, imposing Superman that's going to take up a massive amount of space in the display. It still looks exactly like Henry Cavill, but the paint applications are better on the smaller scale ones. So I guess it depends on what you are going in looking for. They've actually updated the paint applications on the black version of this suit, and it looks
Saw that.
so good.
Looks really good.
So I'm now
that's
going to
better.
get that as well. But it depends what you're going in looking for. Some people have life-size busts from Infinity, and those are insane. It literally is like having the person in the room with you. And then maybe going to a Hot Toys figure, it's not going to be as realistic, and they're buying it for a different reason. Maybe they are coming into Hot Toys looking for articulation, because that's something they don't have from their busts and their statues. They want something that they can just mess around with and pose and have fun with. So head sculpt is not as important to them. But for us, I can only speak for myself. Coming from someone who collected smaller scale stuff, figure arts, smaller figures, the head sculpts were always pretty much still are quite terrible. So this to me was the upgrade, was, okay, Hot Toys are the best version of this, the smaller scale stuff, right? This is the best version of fully articulated figures. Absolutely is Hot Toys. I don't think there's any question there. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're coming from something maybe like this, a Hot Toys figure might not be that for you. I don't know.
Right.
It depends what you are collecting for. I'm now thinking that the life-size bust thing might be something that I look into. Although Will really doesn't like busts, so he's trying to tell me not to.
Yeah. It's not a bad option. It's not a bad option. But
Like,
like,
they announced that they're doing a Pattinson, so
oh,
thinking
so
about it.
You might be in on that
Yeah,
one.
we got to talk about that. Will, they sent me some high-res
okay.
video. Yeah. So we'll not
Alita
here,
bust
we'll
that.
talk about it at some
But
point.
for
The
example,
Alita one
like,
that Queen Studios did is gorgeous, man.
yeah,
Absolutely. If I had the opportunity to pick that up, I'd pick that up, hands down. No
For
problem.
example,
sure.
though, like this Gal Gadot, right? This is a huge selling point just because the sculpt, like everything else is, the gold armor looks great. Everything looks great. The pose is simple.
Actually, it looked kind of terrible, the gold armor in the final
really?
product. It kind of looked like this butterscotch, orangey, yellowy.
Yeah.
It looked real bad, but the head sculpt was so good
Mhm.
that everyone just forgave everything else. It's like,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
don't even worry about the armor. Like here, it looks great. In fact, I think the head sculpt looks not as good as the final production in these proto pics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting how they just forgave everything else because the head sculpt was so good. But I guess, like y'all were all saying above me, that's what we kind of do when it comes to these things. If the outfit's maybe not so accurate, but the head sculpt is like 10 out of 10, then we'll forget about it. Forget about it.
So Leo, how is it working for you?
You're
Can you
back.
hear
Leo.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you.
All right, I'm working off my laptop right now because I don't know what's going on. It must be a connection in the area. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Hopefully, fingers crossed that this is going to work, but the connection's been spotty in different places. So,
no worries.
no. So, head sculpts. We're talking about head sculpts right now, right?
Yeah, yep.
Now, I know Justin doesn't like talking about portraits. He doesn't want to hear portraits.
Yeah.
No.
A little fancy
Okay.
for him.
So, no. I mean, portraits or head sculpts are the buying point of our 6 scale collectible figures. Like pretty much, that's the basis. We see that first, and that's pretty much a trigger for us. We know whether or not it's worth it or it's not, because that's the center of pretty much every discussion that's on every channel or every group. Whether or not that sculpt is on point, if it's going to work, if it doesn't work, if it's a Tony Stank, if it's an Ant-Man figure, it doesn't matter. Like that's always the argument. And I think that J&D, of course, like they are, they give us like this Hella. This Hella was incredible. Like they nailed it with this figure. They nailed it with Jen Erso. They
Show
nailed
us the Loki from Ragnarok.
Yeah. So they've nailed it with like a lot of these particular figures when it comes to the head sculpts, but then there's some that they've gotten wrong. Case in point, Ant-Man. And no one really argued about that. Well, no, they did. They argued about it, but it didn't go anywhere because they know that, Ant-Man isn't their top seller. Iron Man is. So when there was, when everybody it was an uproar over that, pretty much they made sure that they made that change.
We're back, Leo.
Exactly,
Is
right? Wow.
Someone saying in the chat that J&B Catwoman is bad. I'm pretty sure that Catwoman looks good.
It's pretty good, I think. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's the best one I've seen. I mean, Queen Studios is pretty good too. And then the bust that Infinity just put out was very good.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
Sorry, Leo, go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's again like the sculpts itself. That is the selling point of pretty much every figure we have. That was one of the reasons why Generoso to me is one of the best figures out there. Why it's my number one, because they completely nailed it with the likeness. I mean, it's on point. So, I mean, if as long as they continue to do that, again, they're going to be at the top of the food chain when it comes to collectibles. But again, we do know that in most cases, sometimes there are some inconsistencies. It's not always the greatest. You know what I mean? So, it's really going to be interesting to see how they treat it going forward. Especially with the upcoming releases and the figures that we're waiting on right now. I'm really interested in, actually, to be quite honest, I'm really interested in seeing how they're going to handle the final product of both Sylvie and the Loki as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, again, it's like I'm excited about it. Like once, like for instance, the Boba Fett double pack with the Tamora Morrison head sculpt. We're waiting on that one just to see if it turns out the same way we've actually seen it once we got the prototype, because it's hot. But I'm always optimistic, but I'm never like, I'm not always all in as soon as they show us the prototype, because everybody's like, right. Oh, this is phenomenal, this is incredible. But then once we get the prototype, or the production photos, is completely different. Now, I don't know if it's because it's oversaturated by people who they hire to take these photos. But again, this is phenomenal. This right here is what Hot Toys is all about.
Yeah.
I'm hoping like something, and it should be easy. It shouldn't be too much more they have to do it. I mean, Tamora Morrison doesn't seem to have a problem with his likeness being modified. We haven't heard anything about that. So I just hope they continue with it that way. But again, we'll see. But I mean, so far so good.
Yeah. So, and Kiji, before I get to you on this one, we got an amazing super chat. Thank you so much, Word Nerd 711. I adore a great head sculpt. I love to make civilian versions of them. Marvel in mine. Wish I could show you how awesome they turn out. Do you guys do that? Do you take like head sculpts and make like a Killmonger in his suit, or or take a Tony and make for Infinity War, things like that? I know, Justin, you do it, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
And do you guys do that with any Star Wars or Marvel figures or in general? Take the head sculpt and make another figure?
No,
not
really, but
not really.
But what I am tempted to do is take a Deadpool head sculpt and try that. I'd love to see that. Just put like Deadpool on, like, I don't know, some sort of trooper or Vader or something like that. I don't know, just to mess with it.
That'd be pretty cool.
Just have a little fun.
KG, what do you think about this portrait conversation?
Yeah, I think really the main selling point, like I agree with all of you, it's the head sculpt. I think Hot Toys, besides their tailoring and the outfits, it's mainly the talk of head sculpts. And 95% of the time when you see a announcement or a release, the first thing you see in the comments, well, reissue Mark 46, but you see majority of the time people like head sculpt is meh, head sculpt is great. That's the first thing that people see. That's their target zone, right? So for me, I got into Hot Toys because of the head sculpt, because how real they look, right? And 95% of the time they turn out great. It's a selling point. That's a selling point for me. Like, majority of the time I display mine with head sculpts because I just think they look great. And sure, you have a second option where you can display the helmet. But the thing you have to realize is that these head sculpts are part of the figure. So if it doesn't turn out great, it's sort of, consumers will be like, come on, I'm paying $250, $3 something $100 for these figures. We should get a really good head sculpt. For instance, the Battle Damage 85, people want that figure to be pitch perfect, almost pitch perfect to the prototype. And if we get a bad head sculpt or a bad armory, or whatever happens, if the details are too soft, then you will see a lot of people in the comments, attacking Hot Toys for that reason. I mean, look at last year with the Mark 85. It was really bad, right? And that really changed their production lineup, right? So for me, I think head sculpts play a huge role when it comes to announcement or release. It's just that's how it works, I think, for me personally. So.
Yeah, and I think this Ray is a good example. I know Aries talked about this a lot. This Ray, right? A lot of people slept on this Ray, and the head sculpt originally was not that great to most people. I mean, for me, it was still good, but I'm a big Ray fan. So for me, like, I was going to pretty much get this as long as the head sculpt wasn't atrocious, which it ended up not being. And I think, Aries, you can speak to this. I think the secondary market, at least on Ray, went way up after people saw the head sculpt, right?
Yeah, it really, really did. And I love this figure. I mean, the accessories, the outfit, everything with this figure, it is dynamite. I have it. It's one of my favorites. I'm real curious on, what how that Ahsoka is going to look for, how, if they're going to come out with that 2-pack of Boba Fett before the end of the year, because right now, I mean, I haven't thought about a whole lot for Star Wars, but that this may be figure of the year right now for Star Wars anyway.
Wow.
At least in my opinion. It's
over Rex?
Awesome. The only reason I would say over Rex is because it's the same head sculpt as Cody, although it's awesome. Like, I love that Rex. You go watch my unboxing of it. I love it. But it's already been done. So it's like if they came out with another one of these Rays next year, no matter how good it was, it probably wouldn't be figure of the year because they already did it. But this being brand new, yeah, I mean, it's really, really good. But it goes to show you, you were bringing up a good point about we get real excited about when we see like that Tamora Morrison head sculpt. You want to see the final production photos because sometimes it can be vastly different. Here's the opposite, where you saw the initial thing, no one got excited with this. And then all of a sudden they come out with the final production photos. And even more importantly, some of the reviews, which some of you guys did, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Also that Lando Calrissian one, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
I believe that it's just better than the prototype. So I think it goes both ways with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's why I'm saying I can't wait till we get that that Dune 1/6 scale figure, because then I want to compare that to KG.
KG's is
whether or not it works, because if they live up to that, then we're good. If they don't, it's gonna be a problem. No,
that's how it goes. I'm with you, Leo. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
But no, I agree. I agree with
I signed off my likeness, so you might get haunted. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing though, because with that Ray though, it was still divisive. Like even when they released it, there were still people that were complaining about. But again, I think because I was one of them, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to front. When I saw that head sculpt in the very beginning, I was like, I don't know, but it wasn't the figure, it was the lighting, and it was the people who took the photo.
Yes.
Because when I got it in hand and I saw it, I'm like, okay, no, this is on point. And I will you have it too, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I was pretty much going to get it either way, but
and I was going to get it too. I was going to get it too. Like I already had it on pre-order. I was still going to get the figure, but I was just like, wow, like it was vastly different and from my perception of it based on those photos. But once we got it in hand, I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is on point. I love this figure. Again, it's just people's perspective and perception. Now, mind you, with that Ray, over time, the head sculpt did change vastly from Force Awakens to the Rise of Skywalker. It was different. But still, it was great. It was, I guess, they just spent time to more time improving the figure. Like we talked about last night, it would have been good if we would have actually got that dark side Ray. If they did that, I think that ship's going to we're not going to see that anytime soon. But it would have been good. But I like it. I dig it.
I would be totally down with dark side.
Another prime example could be also the Mysterio figure, the Jake Gyllenhaal figure. People thought that sculpt was really bad until when I saw Justin's video on it. I'm like, this looks 10 times better than these promotion.
I thought it was bad even when Justin did it, because Justin's videos are terrible. I don't know. Now I'm just playing.
Yeah.
And also another one is Captain Marvel.
Up and down in the box, all those poses.
And another one is Captain Marvel as well. Captain Marvel was another one too. When I saw the promo photos, the blogger photos, I'm like, this looks horrible. And then I saw Justin's video, I saw a couple of other videos. It looks great.
Although it turns out mine is missing the mole, which is there on other people's. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, we got a variant.
You got a variant.
Yeah, mine
You got a Captain Marvel
just
variant. Okay.
does not have it.
Let me show you.
You got the rare one.
There. See,
You got
it's
a chase
literally not there. Like, it's not like it's faint. It's simply not there at all.
It does look good though overall. The figure, yeah.
It looks
Yeah, it's
great.
great.
Mhm.
So
Phenomenal.
Justin, mine will be here this week. So
Let me
know-
know if you have the mole variant.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we got one more topic for the evening. And this is a really interesting one. And I think this will be a very interesting discussion based on what we've talked about already. We've talked about, we tend to hone in on hot toys, but we talked about
they take us for granted, actually? Will?
we could make it that if we could go that angle if we want.
Oh,
So we could go that angle. Like we could go basically because we talked about dioramas, we talked about the portraits and head sculpts, all that good stuff, right? So now I'm kind of asking, do we sometimes take collectible companies for granted? Or like Justin's question, you guys can answer both. Do they take us for granted? Because a lot of times, it's a business. So ultimately they're getting something out of us. We're paying them. They're getting our money, right? So, but I think it'd be an interesting discussion if we didn't have, like with Hot Toys, for example, in the 1/6 game, there's some other good 1/6 companies, but no one on the level of Hot Toys. Let's just be real about it. Like there's no one out there that can compete with Hot Toys in their portraits and head sculpts and really their tailoring and just the quality of their overall figures. So sometimes I guess, we complain about we didn't get this figure, maybe this figure didn't live up to expectation, but I don't know if a lot of us, like we praise Hot Toys, but I don't know if we do it sometimes enough to say like thank you to them for the things they are giving us. But we more so can sometimes focus on the negative, right? So I kind of want to approach that. But Justin has a good point at angle too. Maybe they don't appreciate us as much, and they only care about the business side of it because they're a business after all. They're not in for it for us personally necessarily. But Justin, where do you kind of stand on this broad question?
I mean, I think you're right, Will. Nobody can match that quality, but that's because they're not given a chance to. Hot Toys hoards licenses. They always have. They will bid on licenses just so that other companies cannot get them. And then they won't make anything from those properties, which is just plain nasty. I think other companies absolutely could step up and improve in areas that Hot Toys excel in, but they haven't been given the chance to. Hot Toys have bought all these licenses from the get-go. And I think a big part of that is their partnership with Sideshow. And being able to sell huge volumes to the United States has given them the financial ability to go and bid on these licenses and do nothing with them, like the CW license, right? We've gotten the Flash. They have the license to all of the CW properties, all of them, but they have made nothing. Just that Flash figure, who didn't even turn out that good. I'm offending people; they're leaving.
Everyone's leaving.
I think that there are companies out there who could. At least from a technical perspective, 3-0. Have you seen their Transformers? They are on another.
Yes.
I think that their technical engineering prowess is greater than Hot Toys when it comes to die-cast figures. If they made 1/6 scale Iron Man die-cast figures, number one, there would be more die-cast in them. They would be more articulated, and I think they'd be painted better as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are companies that can rival it, but then it comes to the 3-0 head sculpts, and their head sculpts aren't that great. So if these companies are given the chance to, I think that they can step up. I don't think that we take them for granted. At least I try not to. When there's praise to be given, I always give it. Sometimes I get shit for that, but I don't really care because I always remember this down below. Do we take them for granted? If there's something that they've done really well, I will make sure to say that because I still really do appreciate that. I mean, you are paying for these things, yes, but they could very easily just be like, oh, they're sold anyway, just do whatever. They've already paid for them. They've pre-ordered it. What are they going to do? They've already given us the non-refundable deposit. Like, give them some piece of shit. But usually they will go out of their way, like with Tony Stank, to correct an issue if it is truly an issue. With Ant-Man, they did nothing. But then again, half the people liked it, half the people didn't like it. So I don't know. But I think sometimes they do take us for granted a little bit when it comes to them only focusing on their market. Hot Toys, hate to burst your bubble, but y'all aren't just a little HK, rinky-dink little Hong Kong-based company that nobody's ever heard of. People have heard of you, and people care. And to have the reputation of a company that shows everything, but maybe they'll make it. maybe they won't. It's a really shit reputation to have. Imagine if Apple went on stage and announced 50 different products, and then you're like, ooh, I don't know which ones are actually going to get made, though. We'll have to wait and see. Like, what kind of rep is that?
Yeah.
If you, I understand your Jedi Starfighters and your 1/6 scale full Millennium Falcon. Nobody expects you to make that. But if you're showing a Nightwing from the Arkham games, make the fucking Nightwing. Like, how hard is it? You have the license. Nobody else is able to make it. Make it, or give the license to someone who will.
Yes.
That's how it's going to be.
Yes.
So I think they take our patience for granted because DC fans right now, because I'm one of them, feeling a little bit underloved. If you're not going to make Suicide Squad figures, if you're not going to make Arkham figures, if you're not going to make figures from any DC properties, fuck the license off to someone else who will. Literally. There are a bunch of companies who would kill to get that license. It's gold. There's so much comic potential. There's so much TV potential, so much movie potential. We didn't get Shazam. We didn't get the Suicide Squad. Criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Yeah.
So,
Leo, how do you feel about this? Sorry, Justin. I didn't know you were done.
It's fine. No, I'm done. I can be done. I'm done.
No, it's okay. I thought you were done. My apologies.
No,
if you're not, continue.
Leo,
go ahead.
Please. No, I super duper concur with Justin when it comes to that.
I'm real spicy. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's fine. It's good. I like the take.
All good, man.
That's
all good.
They're taking us for granted, and I'm saying that they're taking. I'm like, look, I'm unapologetic, and I'm not afraid to talk about things that most people refuse to talk about or turn a blind eye on. There's a lot of racism going on right now, and I'm just being completely honest. There's a lot of racism with this company because inclusivity is an important thing. We're not living in an area. We're not living in the 1940s anymore. We're not living in a time where basically African American or even darker fair skin had to enter from the back door just to basically get a seat or receive an award. We're not living in those times anymore. There are so many figures out there that haven't been produced. Dora Milaje, for once. Okoye hasn't been basically released. If we're talking about such figures as Valkyrie have not been released. We've gotten almost every figure from the first season of Mandalorian but Grieve Karga. And Carl Weathers directed a daggone episode in the show. So I think that right there, to me, when it comes to Hot Toys, has been the biggest mistake that they've ever made. And to me, if somebody who looks like me, I have a problem with that. So for me, for them to say that, are we taking them for granted? No, I don't think we are, because we're paying them. We're paying them for product, and they're getting their money regardless. And sometimes they give us faulty product. Like I just spent 2.5 hours trying to fix this freaking Hawkeye. Like seriously, the gauntlet on it because a small piece popped off of it. Now that's just one of my gripes. But I don't see enough for this. I don't see enough of that as the only reason why they were forced to basically release almost the entire or portions of the Black Panther company or the movie or the IP itself was because it was popular. It was hot and they wanted to capitalize on that. So that's the only thing. They were opportunists at that point. If the movie wasn't that great, we would not have seen those figures at all. Plain and simple. That's just my point. So I don't think we take them for granted. They take us for granted because on top of that, there's not enough inclusivity when it comes to these figures. Yes, we will buy it. You're like Justin said, you're not the only market. You are not the only market. You're not. Over here, you pretty much make a half your market. You're making more money off from here than anywhere else because we buy figures. We do. We buy, we wait. We buy, we wait. We pre-order, you sit on our money, we wait to get these figures. But yet you're not giving us figures that you've shown us prototypes for. It makes absolutely no sense. If you're not going to make these figures, don't show us the fucking prototypes. Don't do it. Plain and simple. Because that right there is a travesty. But on top of that, you're just not showing anybody who looks like me. Or whether it's Hispanic, half the time you're racist against your own kind. So what's the point? Like, what is the point? Like, what is the point in that? If we're going to spend the money to get the product, then give us product. If you want to, are you scared of money? Do you hate green? Because I love green. I love money. You know what I mean? Are you afraid of it? So I don't think that we are taking them for granted. They are really taking us for granted. And on top of that, they don't think we're as intelligent as we are. Literally, they don't. Because I think that like he said, other IPs, other companies would kill to get these IPs, to kill to get licenses. And I'm telling you, So Toys would kill it. I'm telling you right off the bat, they would kill it if they got it. But they're not given a chance. They're not given a fair chance. So to me, I don't think we're taking them for granted. I think they're looking at us like we're fools, and they're like, you know what, whatever. Case in point of what they did with John Boyega a few times. And I'm gonna tell you what, if we do not get a Mahershala Ali Blade figure,
Ooh.
that right there is going to say a lot. It is going to say a lot to me. That's going to let me know where they actually stand, and it's not going to make much sense if they don't do it. Plain and simple. So again, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, that's reasonable. So, Aries, where do you stand on this topic? Do we take them for granted, take us for granted? Is there a little bit of both? What do you think?
Well, a few things here, and I'll try to address everything here, on my point of view. First of all, like Qui-Gon said in The Phantom Menace, there's always a bigger fish. And I 100% agree with Justin. They're not given an opportunity for some of these other companies to show their quality. And you could take a look at even third-party companies. Like one that comes to mind that I'm absolutely stunned it's not a hot toy. I think if it was a hot toy, it might be the best one ever. Is this Viper Studios, the White Pilgrim, which is basically the Gandalf the White. And if you've never seen that figure, it is absolutely unbelievable. So to think that there's no other people out there or no other companies that could be given a chance to evolve and to create figures that are as good or even better than Hot Toys, they're out there. And I say yes, if they're given the opportunity. So I totally agree with that. Second thing is, I will say this, it typically, you look at things like it takes two to tango, and it does. So I think that, we could take them for granted and they take us for granted. But listen, they're the company. Customer always comes first. And that's where it stops there. And it's not the two to tango with this. First of all, I agree with Lale. Where the heck is Mace Windu? We talked about this.
Yeah.
Where is Grief Karga? You brought that up yesterday. He directed an episode, which is absolutely correct. The main star, it's Carl Weathers, okay, which I'll sell buku of that. No reason not to have Mace Windu. So I do agree. There's something there. And then the other thing that they're also doing and taking for granted. And, it's funny. I was talking to a collector about this, and they couldn't believe. They're like, why don't you have the armor? And I said, look, I have a real problem with it because I feel like that they rushed this out and they put the two Phillips head screwdrivers under I feel like I got a Black Series figure. and really, you're not going to give me the posability, but you want me to spend how much? And I just have a problem with it because I feel like that they're taking me for granted.
Yep.
And I have to go and do this. So I actually don't have that figure. I'm almost like taking a stand on it. Like, you know what? If maybe for $125, I'll buy it. But I'm not buying it. I'm not paying the money you're asking for that because to me, it's not acceptable. But I think that that's part of what they're doing is they're taking some of these things for granted. So I think it falls more on them. Customer comes first. They need to address all these situations, not just with Iron Man, because people are going to buy that. But someone mentioned earlier, well, they're not going to do that with a lower tier figure. They have to do it with the lowest tier figure. They need to address everything. Customer service comes first, and they need to release the characters that we want, and not necessarily what they want. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Before I get to you guys here, we got a super chat from Brett, the movie guy. Thanks so much, Brett. It means a lot. Them not re-releasing Black Panther is suspect. Maybe it's due to Chadwick's estate. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's something to do with that.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it could be. I mean, there's a reason for that. Who knows? But if anything, from the new Black Panther film, we're definitely going to get some figures from that. So that's going to be good. Hopefully, we'll get finally that Dora Milaje that everyone wants because that would be really nice. There'll be some other stuff in there. Ironheart's in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be that hopefully, and then whoever the new Black Panther is, that'll be something. So hopefully we can.
I just sent you something. 1/4 scale Spider-Man integrated suit. It seems like it's coming out.
Oh, it just
there's
dropped.
a leak. There's a leak out there because I know they're having an event pretty soon, and there's a leak. I just sent you the leak right now on Instagram.
I'll put it
That
up.
makes sense.
While I'm looking for that,
Sorry to interrupt.
oh
but I
no,
just
no
wanted to-
worries, KG. While I'm looking that up though, Mario, how do you feel about this topic of collectible companies taking us for granted and us them?
You know what? I don't think I can say anything that hasn't already been said, to be honest. I mean, everybody just spit facts right now, dude. And it's just, I mean, from the point to where how some of these companies are taking us for granted, and I tend to lean on that side of the fence even more than us taking them for granted, because they are a business. We are paying them for things, so we expect certain things out of them. But one of the things that I've always said a lot, for those that know me, and when Justin mentioned how Hot Toys sent to Hordes licenses and stuff like that, I also have a huge problem with Sideshow freaking not allowing other. I'm sorry if we're mentioning their names, but
No, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
the problem that I really have with them
Will's
is
not
that
kicked
not
out
allowing.
yet. You can mention that.
What'd you say, Leo?
I said Will's not kicked out yet. You should.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe next week, bro. Maybe next week.
No, but one of the biggest problems that I have with them is that them not allowing other companies to distribute licensed product into the U.S. market. Iron Studios, XM, any of these other statue companies. And along, that being said, also, I've always said if Queen Studios would somehow be able to get the license to Star Wars and distribute in the U.S., I'm selling all my freaking Hot Toys and I'm done. That's it.
Man.
I am going full blown. Everything is going, and but no, to me that's not going to happen, because I feel like they have such a stronghold on the license
They would
here in North
allow
America.
it
It would never happen. Exactly. And that's like one of my biggest gripes right now, because like you guys mentioned, give other companies an opportunity to show them what they can do, and just give them the opportunity to pass, the best that are out there. We've seen it from third-party companies as well. They've released great looking product. Sometimes in hand it's like a little bit janky and whatnot, but still they do give these licensed products a run for the money, I believe. And Leal mentioned representation. I mean, as well. I mean, I'm of Mexican descent. May not look it, but at the same time, Diego Luna. I don't have anything of him.
Right.
And, Paul Dameron. Another. I mean, it's awesome to see that we're getting Pedro Pascal on Helmeted Portrait, which is awesome. Because hey, I can say that I have like some sort of Latino representative on my shelf. That's freaking awesome, man.
It's great.
And so yeah, this if anything, I do agree that we're being more taken for granted / taken advantage of more than us the other way around. You know what I mean? So that's basically all I can really say about it.
No,
man.
but those are really good thoughts. So, KG, how do you feel about this whole thing?
Listen, I don't know if I want to talk because you guys just nail every single point. I mean, no, honestly, like I think Hot Toys takes us for granted because I don't know. I think there was an interview a couple of months back, but I think Howard Chan calls a bunch of man babies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he?
yeah, he calls a bunch of man babies. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard somebody saying that.
Wow.
Calling
Yeah,
a
I didn't
bunch of
hear
man
that.
babies.
We'll have to look into that.
Wasn't that during the
Howard.
whole the Tony Stank thing?
I think so.
I think I remember hearing that as well.
I think so. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody said something.
things like that. I mean, it's like when you get money, you sort of change. You change, your personality changes. You just don't care about anything else. Money just grabs into you, and you're selfish. You're needy. You don't care about other people's feelings. And yeah, I mean, they do take us for granted. I mean, look, representation is the most important thing when it comes to anything, especially collecting. Because for me, I'm Middle Eastern, also Afghan. So right now, currently, there are no representations of me except for like Miss Marvel, where she is a Pakistani Muslim character, which I'm definitely going to get just because that is a representation of where I'm come from, right? So things like that and something that kind of represents the collection is just by far I'm going to get it, right? So and also going back to also representation when it comes to Black Panther and these other African American superhero characters, like for instance the Captain America Falcon figure. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin. I don't know if this is right, but I believe the lines for that figure when people were waiting for the figure, was it long or wasn't? It wasn't too long, right?
No, not very
Right.
long. Same with Cyborg. There was like one person.
There you go. There you go. You see, things like that kind of bothers people and bothers me, and to that point also, Lael, that Blade. If they don't make a Blade figure, then that's going to be pretty evident that Hot Toys are being, picky, and they're not picking the ones that we need, and for character representation. Like, I want a Blade figure. I want that figure. I want, Captain America, Captain America Falcon, things like that. And they do, like I said, they do take us for granted all, I think all the time they do. And, there are figures that we need and they don't make. Give those figures or those licenses to some of these third-party figures. Like Justin said, there are other companies that are just killing for these licenses to do. For instance, comic book figures, classic comic books, like the one I think they released, the Green Menace. I mean, I'm sure, Lael, he's a huge comic book nerd. There are companies out there that are willing to make those types of figures. For instance, the Tobey Maguire figures. Like, I want them to do a Tobey Maguire figure. If they're not going to do it, give it to a third-party figure, like the Fiend. They could have labeled that as the Green Goblin if they would have gone the license, the Auk. There are so many third-party companies out there that just want to grab these licenses and give the collectors what they want. And Hot Toys are just like, no, screw that. We just follow our Iron Man, Spider-Man, and that's it. It's just, we need more diverse in the collection. That's all. I think that's all we're asking for. And I think Hot Toys should rethink their strategy into what they should release and also announce. So
there are certain characters and certain things that other companies make that are called loss leaders, right? They'll make a loss on some things so that the rest of them, the other products, the high ticket items, they can sell. Great example. Sony, the PlayStation 5, they sell at a loss so that they can make money in games and in accessories and everything else. Sometimes, and I think Hot Toys are now so focused on, we'll only make things that we can guarantee that we can make money on. Like, I don't think we'll ever see a civilian Peter Parker. 3 to 4 years ago, I would have said absolutely, because we were getting civilian Steve Rogers, we were getting civilian Tony Stark. They were a little bit more willing to go ahead and complete a line. We got, from the Winter Soldier, we got like a full line. And it wasn't just Cap and Bucky, and that's it. We got a full line. We got Falcon. We got multiple different Caps. We got Nick Fury. Like, they went all out. But nowadays, when it comes to No Way Home, I wouldn't be surprised if we only got a couple of Spideys and maybe 2 villains. And that's it. And we didn't get a Sandman. And we didn't get, I don't know, insert whoever else. We didn't get an Electro. We didn't get a Lizard. Whereas Hot Toys back in the day, they might have done that. But now, for some reason, they're so laser focused on only making that super high ticket, which is great from a business perspective, but they're not just that kind of business.
They're kind of paranoid.
Correct. There are certain businesses that can work like that. Like, I say, for instance, a car company. Say Tesla sells, 95% of their revenue is from Model 3. They're not going to stop making Model S, Model Y, Model X, and Roadster just because Model 3 is the only one that sells. There is a demand, maybe in smaller quantities, for those other things, and it completes your line. It's a suite of products that work well together, and I think that's what Hot Toys is missing out on, is they're like, oh, well, we're going to go for just one character from just Aquaman. That's it.
Yeah.
We're not going to make Mira, we're not going to make Ocean Master, we're not going to make Black Manta, just Aquaman.
Yeah.
They don't realize if they were making those other characters, that more people would buy just Aquaman. Right. Because they want to complete the fucking line. That's how it works.
Exactly.
But they get so focused, and that's what pisses me off the most, is I don't know who the fuck is in charge of their business decisions over there. I don't know if it's just Howard. I don't know who it is. I would love to just be a fly on the wall in that conference room when those discussions are had.
Yeah.
Because some of the business decisions that they make are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And then they don't address the simple fact that there's misses, like figures that they release that people just don't buy.
Right.
Yeah. They don't communicate at all. So I mean,
they literally no communication. For Loki, we should have gotten all of the main Lokis, right? Classic Loki, boastful Loki, Kid Loki.
Right.
Not that hard.
There you go.
Very straightforward. Super simple. So Toys are making classic Loki. They fucking killed it. That thing looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
That should have been a line from Hot Toys. And it's not even that many figures, just 3 more than what they're currently making. And then they'll have, imagine that display of all of those Lokis together. Fuck off President Loki. He looks good, but he's irrelevant.
Yeah. Right.
And all that crap that they're including, that junk. I don't know what that's all about, but that would have been a badass display. Having the core Lokis from the show all together would have been awesome. Same thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Cap, US Agent, Bucky.
Yeah.
Maybe even Baron Zemo. Have the 4 of them. That is a line. That is a team. That is a set. And that represents the entirety of that show.
Right.
Right?
And you know what,
Mobius. Mobius would have
Justin,
been good.
it's crazy because I mentioned on another channel, I mentioned that okay, so why won't we see Jonathan Majors' character at the end of the movie?
Yes.
And they're like, well, no, because he had limited screen time. So did President Loki.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Right. There you go.
Very limited. Like
Yeah, he had like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He had more time than President Loki. So that's what I'm saying. Like it really makes absolutely no sense, especially considering that Jonathan Majors' character as Kang is going to be very important going forward. So that makes absolutely no sense, and there's no excuse for it, bro. None.
Yeah. I think one of
see if they make Eternals. We'll see.
Yeah.
They tease Angelina
I think
Jolie.
they'll make at least 1 or 2, but it might be
But they can't
Icarus
do
and
that.
Angelina Jolie, unfortunately.
They honestly, they cannot. That is so poor. If they do that, I'll be so pissed. Like Bad Batch. We're getting what, 2? Or is it 2 or 3? We're getting Hunter.
Well, they teased the crossover.
One unreleased.
But I think they're saving
one teaser.
But I think they're saving some of those Bad Batch characters, those members for season 2, so then they have something to sell.
Yeah.
But imagine, KG, if you're a Hot Toys collector and you pre-ordered Hunter and Echo, and then, or say for instance, you weren't a Hot Toys collector, and then you get to season 2, and then they release the other 2, then you're fucked because the ones that came out 2 years ago are now long since sold out.
Fair point.
So
Fair
like,
point.
if they're going to do it, they may as well just, rip the Band-Aid off Hot Toys. Get it done. Come on.
To me, it's the fact that season 2 will possibly see even more characters.
Be worse.
We're going to see new characters.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can't really focus on just saying, okay, we're going to release these 3 figures or 2 figures now, and we'll just, wait for the other. That Crosshair figure he was pretty much one of our favorite characters in the Bad Batch, but
bless you.
Yep.
I don't understand why we haven't seen it yet. So,
I'm waiting on that tech, man. That's what I want to see.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
even though I hate Wrecker, I want to see that in figure format.
Oh yeah, I mean they have the heavy
Mando body. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most disappointing things with the What If series is that one of my favorite episodes was the Chadwick Boseman episode.
Yeah.
And for me, when they don't make that character, I kind of got pissed.
That would have been a really cool figure, actually.
I would have bought
Black Panther
that.
Didn't they make the Cos baby?
They did. They did make the Cos baby. They did. They did.
And Spidey's not accurate for like 95% of that episode. In fact, for all of that episode, unless I'm misremembering, he didn't even wear a mask.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he had smaller screen time, whereas Chadwick Boseman had a lot more screen time in his episode. So
he was the main character. Yeah.
He was the main character. I'm just like, come on, Hot Toys.
Yeah. So
it's not even a likeness rights issue, to be honest.
No,
because they're all animated people. Like, what? Why?
Exactly.
That's a license to print money because you don't have to pay for the likeness rights of those actors because it's an animated thing.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Like that Sorcerer Supreme, or what's it called, Doctor Strange Supreme, or the evil version of Doctor Strange.
Right.
Damn, that would
have been
really cool. That would be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, great discussion there. Seriously, some really, really good points. I honestly that evolved into way more than I thought it was going to be. So
no, I got more. See, I got.
That shit was awesome though because everyone came at it from a different angle and like everyone brought up some really good points that I didn't even think of. So I mean, and I think that's great because we all bring unique perspectives to it and it makes for a really good conversation. So if it gets spicy or not, that's good. I mean, I think it's good. Yeah, it makes sure because we're always honest. All 6 of us here are very honest people.
As long as everybody knows that we're still Team Will. We're Team
Will. Put Team Will in the chat, boys.
Don't get in the chat and be like, "Well, I'm Team Will. Y'all treated Will like shit," because we didn't. We're Team Will.
Not tonight. Not tonight. And never.
Wow.
No. So guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Yeah,
Show
KG, I saw it, but it doesn't look like quarter scale to me.
It's a different base. If you look at that base, it's way different.
I'll show the picture. We got to wrap up because I know Aries has to run soon. But
sure.
But this is the picture that KG sent me. I'll try to zoom in
hands.
It only let me get in so far. Hold on.
It's going too small.
You'll have to take the image, Will, and then do it.
Yeah, but see, there's 6 scale Spideys around him, and he looks the same scale to me. So
the bases are different. it's that triangular base. If you can see that triangular base that we see for
yeah.
the whole.
Yeah, maybe
you know.
it is a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe they're
Could
all
it be a
quarter scale.
placeholder?
Maybe they're going to make all these in quarter scale too. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Ooh,
Um,
I would
but
love to see that.
that's kind of the idea, right?
How's your
Yeah.
toe? Aaron says, "How's your toe, Will?"
It's doing better, honestly. It's doing
Toe
better.
update.
Yeah, it's doing better. Like, you know, I clipped it a little bit, so it's, you know, to clip around
Oh
the
my
meat there.
God.
So, you know, we're good.
Okay, too much.
So, kind of important. Kind of important.
I wish you
So-
didn't ask, Aaron.
Clip around the toe meat, boys. That's how you do it. So, Lane Kramer. So, I came off overly angry with my new Venom. Was I crazy for my reaction to that 1.5 figure of him? I did pounding my desk with dissatisfaction. Yeah, that's a little bit of an overreaction.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We forgive Lane. He's such a nice guy. I mean, he played Call of Duty with us last night. He did okay. I mean, we carry him a little bit, but it's fine. You know, he's good.
Wow.
He's good. So, you know, it's more optical, and we had Jet on there too, and they were better than me. But Lane plays Battlefront with us too. But he has a lot of cats. Lael knows that. So, you know, we give Lane the benefit of the doubt. Okay, Lane, thank you so much, though. Seriously, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, don't pound your desk over Hot Toys figures. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. So, all right. So, guys, to wrap this up, thanks so much for joining us. I'll hit everyone real quick so everyone can talk about what's coming up on their channel. I know you got to run soon, Ari, so I'll hit you first. What's coming up on the 6 Scale Cantina?
Well, listen, thank you so much for having me on your show, Will. I had an absolutely great time here today. So very, very honored to be on. And it's great to be on a show with Justin and Mario. Great to meet both of you.
Likewise, man.
Here
Yeah,
and
lovely to
visually.
meet you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, thank you for having me on and letting me be a part. My channel is 6 Scale Cantina. Please go ahead and check it out. I do got a show coming out tomorrow at just about 5 p.m. Eastern time. I will be live and raw, so you don't want to miss that. And that's basically, I'll leave it at that way so everyone else can go. But that's what I got going on tomorrow. And again, thank you so much, Will. It was great.
Yeah. Dude, Aries, thanks for joining, man. Anytime you want to come on, just let me know. It's always a blast. All you
heck
guys,
yeah.
seriously,
Always.
you guys are incredible.
Always.
So, Justin, my co-host in Figures
Hey.
and Flicks, you know, the bromance we have going on, toothless and hiccup, as they say. That's kind of
I
us.
don't know what that is, but
So,
I'll
yeah.
take it.
I'm just gonna Mario's rolling his eyes, but it's a good thing. Trust me. Joe. It's a good thing. Just watch How to Train Your Dragon, and we'll talk about
Oh,
I'll work on it.
I'm
I'll
glad
work
you cleared that up.
it. Exactly. So, Justin, what's coming up with you?
I'm going to review that Gandalf. Asma sent me that Gandalf, and finally I'm going to review. I'm going to review it after this. Finally, I'm getting around to reviewing it. There are some other random stuff like Daft Toys. I completely forgot that this even existed. But they made a Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne, and it's here.
yes.
And it's surprisingly not bad, honestly.
Okay.
It's surprising. I like the box. It says the Batman on it.
Nice.
So I'll review this. And I'm seeing, not sure if you're Wes Anderson fans, but I'm seeing The French Dispatch tonight, and I'm excited to see that because I love Grand Budapest Hotel, etc.
Yeah.
His movies are crazy, very unique.
So yes, I'm very, very excited to see that. And that's about it, actually. Oh, actually, no.
Figures and
Ghostbusters
Flicks.
next
You're
week.
forgetting.
Yeah, Figures and Flicks, obviously. And I've got, this is crazy to say, I've got advanced screening tickets to see Ghostbusters a month early because it comes out in January here in Australia. So I'm seeing it next week. So we'll discuss Ghostbusters on Figures and Flicks probably the week after, finally.
Great.
Will, you need to see it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see it because we got to talk about it on Figures and Flicks. Maybe I'll go see it tomorrow, actually. I'm free tomorrow night, so I'll probably try to hit it then.
Sounds good.
Lael, 1/6 scale, man. Seriously, my main bro. What's coming up for you, man?
Your main bro.
One of my main bros. I got several. You know. He looks out for my toe. Let's just say that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Come on, man.
Oh my god.
Lael loves feet.
yeah. No, I don't. No, I don't. Please, if I'm around you, put some socks on at all times. Seriously.
I got him off now,
Oh,
but I won't
man.
show. I
Ask
won't
my
show.
girl.
Oh
I'll
my
massage her all day, every day. But those feet, I don't touch feet.
no feet in Lael's
I don't
house.
touch feet. But no. Yeah. I got tomorrow, of course, is Comic Book Talk with Friends, where we're going to actually go over the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. So that'd be spoiler talk, definitely. I have 3 videos that I'm releasing for Take Your Position. One is, again, I had to do a re-edit on the the Night Vigilante because the color palette just didn't look right, so I had to kind of re-edit and do that. I will be doing a take a position with the Harley Quinn Arkham version. I actually got that right here.
Nice.
And I'm actually doing something totally different. I'm doing a mashup, a versus take your position with Quicksilver and the Flash. So we'll be doing a couple of things with
Nice. Oh no.
Uh-oh. No.
Hold on.
It was done so well.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back.
There you go.
Thank
there
God.
you go.
It does it every so
My heart
often,
stopped for a
so-
minute.
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know what's going on. I think it's the internet, our connection. But anyway,
Okay.
Wednesday, of course, is going to be again. Say what? We'll be just talking about like this. Hopefully, something new, some new releases. We'll actually get. We'll have a different discussion. I'm gonna try not to talk about Spider-Man this week. I don't want to be one of those content creators where we're all accused of talking about the same thing and it gets boring, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
So I kind of want to make sure that we kind of spice things up. Again, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, it is what it is. We're content creators and we're supposed to enjoy each other's stuff and support each other regardless of what we show. If we talk about it on one show or a different show, it just makes for good content. Some viewers who didn't see it on the last one might see it on this one. So again, no backbiting, no slide talking, no. I love everybody on this panel. I love watching everybody's show, and I don't backbite. And I'll just give it to you real. But anyway, again, we'll have Say What on Wednesday, and Mario, I guess we're gonna have Uncivilized Scoundrels this Thursday.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Eric, again, you're welcome to join us on that show, man, if you want to. So definitely, if we have you there, it'd be good to have you. Definitely. Next Sunday is going to be another Take Your Position. And I think me and Iron Logan talked about, we're going to actually pose the Deadpool 2 figure because there's so many accessories with that.
Oh, nice.
We're going to play around
Good
with
one.
that. So that'd be
Those
good.
high heels, man.
Yeah, so, because he breaks the fourth wall, so he can
Yeah.
pose the Star Wars figure with anyone. He doesn't
And
really
the
matter.
unicorn. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Come
we'll
on.
be doing that as well. So yeah, and I guess we're going to be on Justin's show on Tuesday as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Unless we got kicked, which I don't think I've heard.
No,
So,
we get kicked off.
so we haven't got kicked off yet.
Justin's
Give it
not
time.
like- Justin's definitely not like that. He's one of the good ones. He's one of the real ones. So definitely will be there. And just be waiting for my 10% from Timothy Chalamet.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. Before I get to Mario and KG, sorry guys. Alexandros, thanks so much, Alexandros. $5. It's amazing. It really does mean a lot. Definitely need the new
Power
Blade
Rangers
figure.
in space. Nice.
Oh, nice. Definitely need the
There you
Blade
go.
figure and updated Snipes figure re-release. That would be cool, actually. A Wesley Snipes re-release.
I'd be
I
down
think
for
we're
that.
definitely. I mean, Blade's gonna have his own film. You're definitely gonna get a Blade. I mean, Mahershala Ali is a 2-time Oscar-winning actor. I mean, he's the lead of the film. You're gonna get a Mahershala.
Apparently, he was at the end of Eternals. That was his voice.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it
told
was.
me
Yeah,
that guy that
it
I really
was.
don't like from Game of Thrones.
Spoilers, bro.
Yeah. Well, you can't even see him, Mario. He just says like one line, and you hear his voice, but you don't see him. So
But now I know.
Yeah, you should blame the director Mario because she's the one who put online that it was him. So
Oh, did she?
because no one
Okay.
knew. I mean, a lot of people didn't
Don't
in the
blame
theater
me.
at least, unless you could know, otherwise. But
I would
yeah,
I would
so-
have not known unless she had said that.
Yeah.
She was like, it was Blade, obviously. Like, oh right, obviously.
Right. So Mario, what's coming up on Collecting Weekly, and what's going on with you?
Oh man! So tomorrow night we have our weekly unboxing on Monday nights. I believe John is doing he's doing some statue. I forget what it is, and we're also going to do
Some
one of our
statue.
guys some statue. No, I forget which one. To be honest, we also one of my boys that I met up with over there, Rainer, from Collecting Weekly. He had a tremendous haul from SDCC, so he's going to be showing off a lot of stuff that he picked up, from the con. Tuesday night is our Collecting Weekly flagship show. Just come check us out, where we just pretty much talk about same old stuff, news and everything like that. I think we're gonna have P Rockzilla joining us for that night, so it'll be fun hanging out with him as always. After dark on Wednesday nights, we just do our thing where we just hang out, goof, gaff, laugh. Also have some serious topics, every so once in a while. Thursday night with Lael doing Uncivilized Scoundrels, man. Looking forward to it, man. Always looking forward to Star Wars Talk anytime. And I think this Sunday we're doing another episode of Bricks and Brews. We're basically a bunch of us get together, put some Legos together, have a few drinks, and just chit chat.
There you go, baby.
There you
So
go.
it's
See,
always
Aries
a
gets
fun
that.
time. So it's a fun time, man.
Two
So
drinks.
come check us out. YouTube.com/Collecting Weekly.
All right. So, KG, what's coming up with you, man? What are you doing? What are you doing besides making films? And 10% for me and Leo.
10%.
Well, I mean,
Get us our money.
It seems like I have to give you guys a 10%.
Want my money, man. Want my money, man.
Like,
No, but honestly, like right
Justin
now,
will break your kneecaps. We'll send him.
Justin's
We'll
gonna
send-
break those
Whoa.
kneecaps. Justin's he want that money, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah, no,
Justin's the enforcer.
no, for me, honestly, for my YouTube channel right now, I'm just taking a break. I got some things coming up pretty soon. I have to take care of, and yeah, I'll be coming back after once we watch No Way Home. We're gonna do a movie review for my live stream. I'm gonna invite Max. I think the max is 10 people, right? So anybody in the panel is welcome to join. Talk about No Way Home as always. And yeah, just pretty much it for me. You guys can find me on Instagram at KG_collector and also YouTube KG Collector. Yeah, pretty much it for me.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for this amazing panel. Seriously, you guys have been incredible. Thank you as always for joining me. You guys have become a lot of my really good friends here in the collecting game. And everyone else watching, I'm sorry I didn't address the chat in the beginning. So my apologies for that. Next stream, I'll definitely make sure to hit that. If I don't, then Leo or someone make sure to correct me and make sure I do that because I wanted to jump into these topics because they're just so spicy.
If you don't, you don't get your 10%.
I'm motivated now. That's all the incentive I needed, KJ. So, guys, thanks so much for joining. That's all from Collectors Mingle for this episode. We will catch you in the next one.